Though Phi no longer drives, he can still fly down the track. Staying fit helps Phi stay flexible in his ongoing fight with retinitis pigmentosa, a blinding retinal disease. But even when the way forward is hard to see, Phi is always hopeful, because he knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding diseases, providing real hope to those fighting vision loss. And our nationwide community of local chapters provides networking and support for people with vision loss, as well as their loved ones. Because the best way to fight against blinding diseases is to fight together. And for Phi, winning the fight against vision loss means seeing new ways to push himself. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Learn more about how you can help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
All aboard! It is a booze-fueled sex romp where anything goes.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Welcome back, gang. Welcome back.
Oh, no. Not this again.
This is a Monday.
That means we should get back to work.
It's showtime!
Yeah, it's time to suck it up and get back to work. We're live today. After a week off, we're back live in studio, and we thank you for being there for the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. It's wondrous to see everybody again. Is everybody doing all right? Nobody's returned to the program legless or anything like that, have they?
No, good. All limbs attached.
Yeah, I got 2 legs, 2 arms. I'm good.
You got them all?
You got that baby's arm you're hauling around?
Oh, yeah.
I missed all you ladies and guy ladies. Wait, other way around. All you guys and lady guy.
Lady guy.
Did you miss us, Cubby?
I sure did.
I missed you too.
I was thinking about you a lot.
Had a couple conversations over break, but it's different not seeing your faces.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
It's a hell of a situation to be in.
I'm over it now.
You are?
But I was really excited when it first happened.
Excited for that initial, reconnect, and then you're like, I guess I really wasn't missing much, was I?
Yeah, I'm already back to the I see you guys more than I do my family face.
Totally.
So sad but true.
That's pathetic. Yeah, as usual, it sucks eggs having to go back to work after a lengthy break, but...
Anybody's alarm scare him this morning?
Yeah.
It took me a second to realize what was happening.
Same here.
I didn't use my alarm once when we were gone.
I honestly didn't even use my alarm last night. I woke up at 1. I woke up at 2. I woke up at 3.
Oh, that's the
alarm
worst.
would come on. Oh.
Nah, I didn't get freaked out or anything by the alarm. I don't think I became fully conscious till I was about halfway here.
I changed my alarm ringtone, and that threw me off even more. Because I thought maybe I should change it up to make sure I absolutely do get up. And I mean, it worked, but it definitely threw me off. I was like, what day is it? What's going on?
These things happen. It's hard to get back into the rhythm. But at least we have something fun to rap about right from the damn get-go. It's time to pump our next booze F me running cruise already.
Coming up quick.
Yeah.
Summer is here. Let's get on a damn boat. The Half-Assed Morning Show Booze Cruise will return this summer.
I'll tell you, I have fond memories of our fall cruise. On the cruise itself, I don't like that it turned into Infect the River, where COVID got 11 of us, including yours truly. Took out some listeners. We'll never hear from them again.
No.
They're all done.
They hate us.
I've never felt worse that week afterward. I've never been so sick.
That was just last September.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on a year ago. We hosted the Infect the River boat party.
Because our boat cruise this time last year was the Super Spreader event on the water. We had one of those.
Yep.
And then right in fall, it was Infect the River. So hopefully we can keep people healthy this time. I don't miss that part. But that really was fun, those last
Oh, they were a blast.
Well, you were as sick as a dog.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
I thought maybe it was quite likely that you were going to pass.
Well, you know what? I don't want to make light of it because I know people did. But I've personally...
I was worried about you.
I was concerned myself because I've never felt like that. I couldn't even... the first time I had it, it was a breeze, and I watched all of Yellowstone. It was like super easy. I felt very fortunate. But that second, I couldn't even look at my phone. I would check it once a day just to see, Nick, if you or Derek, our boss, got a hold of me. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I just laid there like a lump. Couldn't watch TV, nothing. Oh. Kevin Costner called me. Like, bro, we got a whole nother season.
Yeah, come on, man. What are you doing? What are you waiting for?
We're going to be floating down the St. Croix River with Stillwater riverboats Friday, June 30th. That's 25 days away, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. 25 days to pump this sumbitch up and get some live human beings up on the boat. Friday, June 30th, drinks, free food, and music from 7 to 10 p.m. Nighttime booze cruise. We've been doing it this way for quite a few years for our summer cruise. In the early days, we would do it in the morning.
That sounds awful.
And people were not able. There were some people who weren't able to deal with that.
Yeah, just when the sun is the hottest.
There was a stretch of time where we started it at 10 a.m. on a Friday morning. and folks, a lot of folks would stay up all night drinking and then get on the boat. And people, there's vomit everywhere. And some ass hat jumped off the top lid and landed in the river.
Yeah.
That is weird. You know, when you were getting ready, when we, like Nick said, we broadcast from, I think you said we broadcast from there. And
I didn't, but a time or two.
Yeah, and we would walk down the ramp. There'd already be people lined up like at 3 a.m, that would come down for the broadcast, which is really boring to watch.
It really is, yes.
Mm-hmm. And listen to, and so I'm walking down the thing, and so remember we'd have to like shovel in front of us to get rid of the mayflies a couple times. You broadcast down there. It was just so heavy with mayflies and drunkards. But it's different, in the intro, there was a clip in there that said something about a booze-filled sex romp, right? I haven't seen as much sex on the boats there's probably adult children right now that were consummated on the boats early on.
I'm sure.
Are you issuing a challenge here, Josh?
No, I don't know if we can do that in today's litigious society. I am certainly not. I'd recommend you save that for home.
We've been doing this for 25 some odd years. I can't think of the exact number, so I'm sure there are children, now adults, running around town who were, what's the word you use? Conceived.
Or at least maybe got started, to use today's terms, a meet cute on the boat. And then they later on, went on to be a couple and have sex. Then they got a divorce, a pretty bitter divorce. They're on their second marriage right now.
Nasty divorce,
really bad.
Horrible.
They had 3 lawyers involved.
Oh, 3.
If you met up on the booze cruise and that was the springboard for your marriage, likely you had an awful divorce. In the early days, it was disgusting. It was.
Yeah.
Our behavior and the behavior of others. Disgusting. So we switched it over to a nighttime deal, and I really prefer this style.
I have one complaint in a second, but the first hangover I ever had was from our, we call this like the 4th of July booze cruise, basically, right around there. We used to have it on the 4th, no matter what.
We did.
Back in the day. But the first hangover I ever had, I was 30 when I turned 30, and it was from that boat.
Because of the old days.
And I was confused as to what this was. I'm like, I've heard of these hangovers. I've been lucky my whole life, never had one.
Right.
Yeah, that was rough.
So our first of the year, our first of the summer, again, Friday, June 30th, thanks to the folks from Stillwater Riverboats. Drinks, free food, music from 7 to 10 p.m. And then we'll have another one in the fall, I think, but we'll get to that when the time comes. This is pretty much, like Josh was saying, our Independence Day booze cruise.
/ Dana's birthday booze cruise.
June 30th is also your birthday, Dana.
Yeah, turning a big 38 on the booze cruise. It'll be a joyous affair.
There's nothing big about 38.
No, there's not at all. It's a very, very boring kind of birthday.
Yeah, it's one of those. It just exists.
Yeah, it's just kind of there.
It's barely worth mentioning, but you have a whole booze cruise.
Yeah.
Nondescript. 38.
Very...
I mean, can you even think of an athlete who wears number 38?
No.
You know what I mean?
I don't think I even had a 38th birthday party.
Yeah.
My wife just woke up and said, "Word," and I'm like, "Yeah, thanks."
I think I was like, "Is it 37 or 38?" Not like it really matters because they're all just kind of.
I think you'd have to get in a car wreck to remember your 38th birthday. You know. But here's the deal: since it's Dana's birthday on July 30th on our booze cruise, listen to this: dress like Dana for the event. and get a free cupcake from Thirsty Whale Bakery. Cupcakes will be available while they last. I mean, let's say every swinging D shows up dressed as Dana. It's going to be a while they last type of a thing for the cupcakes. They can't bring,
You know who will dress like Dana?
Who would dress like Dana?
Corey Lindahl. Sorry, got to warm up the mouth.
A friend of ours, Corey Lindahl.
Yeah, Chris's little brother.
He's been dressing like Dana.
Before Dana.
Way before Dana.
Yeah, so really, Dana, you dress like Corey Lindahl.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. I didn't realize until now.
Well, we've known Corey for a long time. You were probably still in stinking high school the first time we met. He's been doing the headband and the jean shorts way before they're...
You just switch out that Bills jersey you got for a Minnesota Wild jersey or something. Yeah, and you're definitely Corey Lindahl.
So thank you to Thirsty Whale Bakery for supplying the cupcakes for the Dress Like Dana side of things of our booze cruise. The whole party sponsored by Anytime Bail Bonds. The only way on the boat is to win tickets. And I think before we get out of here, we should be able to dump a couple of pair of tickets. Or how does it work? Is it four packs? We've got 4 packs for the booze cruise to be dished out this morning. Yes, Wapple.
Thirsty Whale Bakery, so good.
That's what I've heard. Everybody talks about how good they are.
And they dropped off a bunch of cupcakes for us one other time a couple months ago. So good.
I never saw any of those cupcakes.
How come Nick and I didn't get any cupcakes?
They had like 4 giant boxes.
I love
They had
cupcakes.
And donuts.
We didn't know how to
stuff.
transport them.
I'll
That's
turn
why.
you over.
Yeah, so I believe it's Baked Baker Jesus who owns Thirsty Whale or is a cook there.
Okay, I remember getting that from Baked. I didn't realize. I didn't make the connection.
Yeah, he's like the executive chef.
You gotta be.
We got an in.
So how about that? We come back to work after a week off, and it is what it is. But it makes it a little less of a sting to be back to work when you get to start pumping up an event like our Independence Day Booze Cruise.
So I mentioned I have one complaint. When did it become 7 p.m. to 10 p.m.? That's far too late. It used to be till 9. That's reasonable.
Really? Was it really until 9?
It used to be 6 to 9.
I don't
because of the funny 6 and 6 9.
Huh?
The funny 6 9.
Oh, I thought that was just a coincidence. That's what it was?
You enjoyed
Oh, that's lame. I didn't realize it was a nice joke.
Don't tell me we really had booze cruises from 6 to 9 just because it sounds like 69.
I don't think we did.
I hope we didn't do
no,
that.
it was because it's based on when the boat is available.
Yeah, it's based on when the boat is available.
Because, they're busy. They're busy.
That didn't even dawn on me, Josh. Yeah.
Well, I'm bringing my own little dinghy.
Yeah,
and I'm leaving at 9.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. I don't care where we are in the river.
Just drop me off here. I'm good.
I need 2 paddles and a dinghy.
7 to 10. Yeah, that's awful late. Well, keep listening if you want to join us on the party. And like I said, before we get out of here today, I think we can throw a 4-pack at you. The party the booze cruise has mellowed. And I love that it has mellowed. I really do. We still have a couple. We've sent this. We've mentioned this the last 4 or 5 booze cruises. Look, if you're expecting some kind of girls gone wild, effing binge drinking frat party showdown,
you need a time machine.
Yeah, we'd love to take you back to the 90s. We can't. The booze cruise has mellowed, just in case there's anybody wondering.
Still very fun, though.
It's a hell of a lot of fun and just a lot less dangerous than it was 20 years ago, and I'm all in favor of that. So don't be showing up expecting like a scissoring competition or something like that, all right?
I just thought you can see a bit of that, but you have to be looking off the side of the boats because when we pass by some of those beaches, there's nudity. As we are flashed. Unfortunately, it is a lot of guys' butt cheeks, but you know what? There's people into that, and you'll be able to see it.
That's a great point.
Or people come up on like personal watercraft, right? And then they'll do whatever they do on that.
You're still probably going to see nudity, but I'm glad you brought that up. In the old days, all the nudity was on our effing booze cruise. Now, all the nudity is on those little islands we pass by. It's a flashing contest kind of a thing. Everyone flashes us. The one time I got foul on the mic. Do you remember that, Josh?
You'll have to refresh my memory because I'm surprised you said the one time.
Well, this was back in the old days when things were much more buck wild, ourselves and the cruise itself, the atmosphere, the vibe on the cruise. And I completely lost track of the setting. We were all on the cruise, and it came time for us to say something on the microphone. And so there we are in this massive boat floating down the river. There's all kinds of boats. It's Independence Day. Everyone's out on the river. And I was addressing the crowd in a way that I'm unable to address our listeners on the audience with some foul language. Not that I was saying, S my this and go F your, but, have a good effing time. It's great to effing see. I'm speaking like a normal adult human being into the mind. And I went on for a few minutes, and next thing you know, one of the boat captains pulled me aside and said, "You can't be cursing like that. The mic is, what's the word I'm looking for? The mic is...
Yeah, it's like not broadcasting, but you can.
It's amplifying. Everyone in the river can hear what you're saying.
And it's got their name on the side of the boat.
Yeah, and he says there's families out there, for God's sake, floating right next to us, and you're up there. You're sounding like Andrew Dice Clay on the. I felt like a complete jackwagon that I was dumping all these foul words.
It's funny. It's like as wild as it's been in the past. We've partnered, sorry to use that word, I don't know what else to say. We've worked with Stillwater riverboats year after year. They've been so good to us. And I remember after the first couple of years, we apologized. I would get off the boat like, I'm really sorry. I know it was out of control. We were having fun. But one thing they've said is the least amount of douchebags are from 93X.
Oh, that's good to hear.
They would told us behind the scenes that some of the other radio stations was loaded. Now I sound like a dick, like I'm ripping other radio stations. Well, I didn't mean it that way.
All you're doing is repeating what was said to you.
I didn't mean it that way. I just meant that they said their crowd was... okay, I'm just going to give up. There's no way to save that. I did not mean to come across that way. I realized it as I said it.
You didn't come across it. Hey, a dude told you, a dude that works for the boat said that our group was the least douchey.
Yeah, okay, I'll leave it at that.
There's nothing wrong with repeating that. Yeah. I mean, so we had 63-year-old naked people 69ing on the top deck. But
that was easier to deal with.
Easier to deal with than douchebags.
I more meant you'd be surprised. You'd assume that it would be more well-behaved and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's all he was saying. He was just saying. Looking forward to it.
Is it hot in here?
You didn't say nothing.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate the support. People are saying 10 p.m. on a Friday night. No, that is too late.
It is late.
When I heard that it was 7 to 10, I was like, it can be 4 to 7. 4 to 7 just sounds so sweet.
Yeah, that sounds nice. All right, here's the deal. Randy Shaver going to be with us at 7:30 live from his big charity golf tournament at Rush Creek Golf Course this morning. Randy will be with us at 7:30 despite he's busy with his charity golf tournament. Big fundraiser last night at Medina Ballroom as part of this Randy Shaver Cancer Research Charity gimmick. I was there. Ashley was there. Now, Ashley, don't spoil this. You're not allowed to guess. But I was highest bidder, like Weird Al sang.
In eBay?
Like Weird Al sang so beautifully in the song eBay. I was highest bidder on an item last night, Josh, and Dana and Wapple, and I got to bring it home last night. Anybody want to guess what I was? It's something that I already have experience with, but yet I was highest bidder for an item.
I believe I know.
Go ahead, Wapple.
No, I don't want to ruin it.
Well, he just asked you to guess.
Ashley might have told us.
Okay, go ahead.
At least told me.
Well, who doesn't know?
I don't know.
Go ahead. Well, then you get the guess. I have experience.
All right, I'm going to
condoms.
Definitely not condoms.
You're right.
Oh, dang it.
It was definitely not a big box of rubbers.
The most hilarious thing to buy at a charity auction ever.
I'm going to say a sex doll.
God, wouldn't that have been something if there would have been a sex doll up for auction last night? I would have tried my best at that. I would
The grand prize.
maybe I would have missed work today had I. No, I got another motorcycle.
Oh, like another e-bike? Dang, I was going to guess that.
Well, yeah, e-bike, motorcycle, same thing, as you know. Yeah,
Why did you need a second one? Are you having like a whole fleet?
because I want to party.
Yeah.
You're like the leading person in e-sports.
I am.
Jealous.
I'm an esports legend.
E-power sports.
I've got
guy.
2 motorcycles, otherwise known as e-bikes, and I got my new e-scooter.
That's
the
pretty
scooter?
cool.
I'll bring it in eventually. Don't holler at me about my scooter.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I got the highest bid.
Now, I was just complaining about 7 to 10 on the river.
Yeah.
Is there any way Randy can not have it an hour and a half round trip from my house on a weeknight? Could he, or excuse me, a work night?
Oh, his charity function
Yeah.
that he had last night. Is there any way he could do it? Yeah. You weren't available last night. That's a long poke from your house.
I'll have to ask him. Some of us have to work, and I know people are going to text in and say, not you guys, but it's true.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about this new motorcycle, or as some of you call it, an e-bike. This one, the one I got a couple years ago it looks like I could mountain bike on it. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a mountain bike.
That's what I thought they all were, those e-bikes.
That's what I thought until the one I started bidding on last night. This is more of like a Pee Wee Herman setup.
Oh. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know the bicycle that Pee Wee Herman used to ride
Yeah.
with the real
That was-
wide handlebars?
That was a big part of the show.
Yeah, and
or the movie.
Fenders, and it's kind of dorky looking. That's what I got going now.
Did a chubby rich kid come up to you and ask you if he could buy it and then eventually steal it and then it leads you on a big adventure? You are kind of a loner and a rebel.
That was lost on me for a second. That's good. I got 2 motorcycles now. How many people have 2 motorcycles?
Just you.
Word.
Just you.
And a motor scooter.
Oh, I heard that you were saying that thing kind of crapped out on you. Did you get a replacement yet?
Yeah, I got a replacement.
What do you think?
It's wonderful. I got, like we were talking about a couple weeks ago, one of those electric scooters that you see folks racing around Minneapolis with. I bought one of those pricks. And on day 1, the back tire started to fold up on me. It was locking up and grinding and all that. Oh, my damn. I just bought this. I had it out for 10 minutes and the back tire malfunctioned. So then I just sent it back and they sent me another one. You're right, Wapple. I should be in the Esports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you should. This could be off air, but I'm going to ask it on there.
Go ahead.
Have you, can you get other power packs for it? Like for your e-bike or for your scooter? So let's say one of them runs out of juice and then you can just quickly throw another pack on.
Like those Power Wheels cars?
Yeah. Yeah.
So buy a spare charger, you're saying,
Yeah.
to keep them all cooking.
Yeah, to keep so you have a second battery pack with you at all times.
Yes, you can buy one of those, Wapple.
You need
smart.
to do that. So then you
That's
could
what
get-
I need to do.
You could get 10 hours of riding in.
Dude. So there you go. What else is going on? Dr. P. Jesus is going to join us live on air at
From
around.
Ohio.
Is he visiting his
Yeah,
family?
Visiting his family.
That'll be at 8:20 this morning on the telephone. In case any of you have a health problem, you can text in and ask him about it. That'll be in a couple hours. Where Dr. P. Jesus will be throwing himself live into the mix here. All right, so there you go. We're back, huh?
Guess so.
Seems
yeah.
that way.
Yep. Let's do it.
Anyone got a quick story from your vacation? Did you see anything? Did you experience anything?
Well, I will give a shout out to Arlo, the Uber driver, who he picked me up Monday morning. He was listening to our Best of show.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Arlo was, huh?
Yeah, Arlo, good guy. Very good guy.
Where the hell are you going on a Monday morning?
I was at my girlfriend's place. I was heading home.
Well, then. Stupid news.
Nice way to slide that in.
Yeah, look at me. Well, there you go.
We were all at your girlfriend's place, bro.
Yeah, Arlo was no Uber driver. He was just in the other room.
He goes, "Hey, bud, I'm leaving. I can swing you home if you need a ride."
Yeah, I'm already here.
He was just waiting you out. Waiting Dana out. If you missed it, just a few minutes ago, we announced that our half-assed morning show, Booze Cruise, is back. We're floating down the St. Croix River with Stillwater Riverboats Friday, June 30th with drinkies.
To answer some questions, the only way on is to win.
Only way on is to win.
So our fall cruise, you buy tickets. This one, it's free, but you have to win on the radio.
Free food, music, as my dad would say. I'm guessing that means a disc jockey?
Yeah, we usually have the DJ on this
Good,
one.
I like that.
Oh, yep.
I like that.
I hope it's the same dude. He's a talented guy, Jordan.
Jordan? Yeah, unfortunately, it's not. He's got a wedding that night. I already asked him.
Stupid.
Oh, you know who's going to do it,
Wedding.
though?
Who?
Other Jordan.
Other Jordan?
Yeah.
Which one? I mean, we know a couple other ones.
We do know some Jordans.
If Jordan
I bet
can-
Jordan Max would be the preferred one
Yeah.
by most people, as much as I love Jordan
we should
Parisi.
ask her if she knows how to run a record player.
I bet she does.
I could see it.
She's
yeah.
tacky.
I can totally see her knowing how to do DJ stuff.
Although I don't want her to, have to work the entire time.
Yeah.
But anyway, June 30th on the St. Croix. Be listening for your chance to win a spot on the cruise, and the whole bit is sponsored by Anytime Bail Bonds. Let's take a breather. Christ, we had a week off. We're right back at it. We probably shouldn't try to burn ourselves out
Agreed.
too quickly. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Reading is fundamental. The nation's largest children's literacy organization invites you to rally our children to read. Visit rallytoread.org and help your child pledge to read 100 books by Read Across America Day in March 2022. Also, watch well-known authors read their favorite books. Find activities to keep young readers motivated, and teachers can enter the Rally to Read sweepstakes for a chance to win 100 books for their own school, subject to rules. Inspire your child to read. Visit rallytoread.org today.
For whatever reason, there's always been a stigma around mental health in our communities. Some people say that talking about your feelings makes you weak. But you know what? It doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. No matter what you're struggling with, you can call or text 988-LIFELINE to connect with a trained crisis counselor and get the resources and support you need. No judgment, no stigma, just hope. Text or call 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline day or night. 988. Hope has a new number.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Stupid news, our first stupid news segment in a long time. Let's hope we remember how to do this. Doesn't it usually start, Josh, our stupid news, doesn't it usually begin with the sound of a really long orgasm? Or am I thinking of some other bit?
I think it is.
Is it the... We're halfway there.
Living on a prayer.
I had gonorrhea.
That sounds right to me. I think that's how we used to do it. Finally, those big damn stubborn Swedes. Finally, they've relaxed a little bit and they've come up with something wonderful. The friggin' Swedes. They're going to go ahead and host the very first European Sex Championship.
Anybody here think they could represent our country in that?
Oh, when I was a younger man, absolutely. Where was this? Where was this when I was a younger man, Josh?
What's it based off of?
Based off of how do you mean?
How do you win? Is it just like having a lot of it?
I don't have any other information. That's just all.
That's
I
the
have.
end of the story. That was it. It's the world's shortest article. The comment section is on fire. Going, that's it.
Well, I mean,
Talk
that
about Blue Ball.
matters. If you're saying if you can win or not, it depends.
It starts on Thursday.
Well, so just right now, Have you eliminated yourself? Or are you saying, I might have this thing, let's hear some more details?
Are you asking any of us?
I was looking at Ashley here.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't want to know. Yuck.
Stamina talking, probably.
We'll get to that, but I'm out. I can tell you right now, I am out. I don't need anything else.
I am also out.
At my age, hell no.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work.
Absolutely.
I got nothing to prove.
No, I have nothing to prove and less to give.
Yeah.
Really, at this point.
I don't care if you think I'm terrible at it. That's fine.
The plane ride over there just sounds exhausting enough as it is.
There's only one person that knows for sure how terrible I am at it.
Oh.
I'm okay with that reputation.
Well, when I was 30, I could have won this damn thing. And I got a great idea of where I could hang the championship belt that they give me. Speaking of championship belts, for you old WWE fans, you'll get this reference. If this sex tournament would have been a thing back 15, 16 years ago, Edge and Lita would have won it going away. Man, those two, they knew how to have sex.
They sure did.
They even had sex on live television,
Oh,
Josh.
that was that couple?
In the ring. Yeah. They brought a bed down and everything.
Oh, I've seen that video, yeah.
Was the time, now I'm forgetting her name, the girl who gave birth to a hand, was that the only time somebody's given birth?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah,
Mae Young.
Mae Young.
Mae Young, that's right.
By the way, Lita looking very good nowadays.
Yes.
Yeah, she's on that treasure hunting WWE show that they do where they go and find old wrestling memorabilia.
Oh, I tried that once or twice, and I was bored out of my mind. But
Also,
I'm sure that she'll look dynamite until the day that she dies.
Also, Trish Stratus somehow looks better, too.
Yeah.
That's possible?
Yeah. Look her up nowadays. Insane.
They get better. The very first European sex championship. To be specific, some group of folks that call themselves the Swedish Sex Federation are putting on this tournament, the European Sex Championship. The tournament will go on over several weeks, they say here. It will feature participants competing for 6 hours a day. Christ. Jeez. There's going to be some cramping. I'll guarantee you that. There'll be some cramping. According to what I'm reading here, 20 people from different countries all over the world have applied for the tournament.
Kind of surprised it's only 20. Oh, no, wait. Isn't it 20 representatives? Or could I bet more people have applied?
I just have here 20 people from all different countries. I wish I could.
Yeah, 20 representatives will take part. So I think, they're just the ones that ended up representing their country.
The winners will be determined by 3 judges and an audience rating. So these folks will be performing for a crowd.
Oh, I'm definitely out.
Over several weeks. That's dangerous if these women aren't. I want to know what kind of protection is being used, because if you're going over several weeks, you're playing with fire there.
Yeah, quite literally, possibly.
What do you mean, protection like rubbers?
Yeah, like, could you imagine having to explain that to your kid one day?
You're saying you're going to get pregnant?
Yeah.
Wapple, what's the max amount of people you'd let watch you have sex?
Oh, boy. Probably 0. I don't know if I'd want anyone watching me have sex.
Come on, let's watch one time.
You call yourself a friend?
Yeah. Such a prude, Wapple.
What if one of us wants to watch you have sex?
Could you do it in front of a crowd, Cubby? You and the old lady?
At this point, why not?
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't really care.
I don't think
it wouldn't do anything for me. If you want to see it, your funeral.
Christ, if you're not busy for 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Come on into the bedroom and I'll show you how I get her done.
How do you feel about skipping foreplay? Because that's what you're going to see.
Oh, absolutely. Now, the contestants will compete in 16 disciplines, is how they say it, including seduction. They'll judge you on your seduction skills. Oral sex. Penetration. How they judge you on penetration, I don't know.
Yep, he's in there.
How they judge you on any of these disciplines, I don't know.
Maybe it's like you have a move or something.
Well,
like you off a high dive?
Like a talent show portion.
Up at the crack of dawn, Jesus wants to know if there's a singles competition.
Here's what else they're judging you on. Your appearance. That's where I'd run into trouble.
Yeah, I think me too. Lose a couple of points there.
They'll judge you on your skills at massage. Your skills at massage, I said, Wapo.
Yeah, I heard that. But
that's the one you're confused about after oral sex, penetration,
Well, why would massage be in this?
Foreplay.
Some people think of it as a prelude to see.
Oops, did my finger brush that? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
They'll judge you on how well you explore erotic zones, position changes. If you can bang out, so to speak, many different position changes, I'm guessing you will get a higher score from the judges.
Jeez, well, 6 hours a day, you're going to run out after like day 2.
Creativity in your positions, okay?
Do you think you get like a combo score if you put like 4 different moves together, like a video game?
Do a 360?
Like you do a wheelbarrow into like, another move, and then follow it up with,
They also judge you on your endurance and your number of orgasms. Well, my max number on orgasms is 1. It always has been. So I hope that's enough for them.
Well, I know you make it a good one.
You are correct.
I think anything more than one position change is excessive.
Yeah, at this point in my life, absolutely.
Yeah, you're getting cocky at that point.
But like I said, when I was 28, 29, 30, even into my 30s, hell, even damn near to when I hit 40, I enjoyed trying to do it in all of the different positions. And did you see that porno movie the other day, right? I'd talked to the lady I was in, that porn we were watching. You want to try that? I liked all the position changes back then. Now I want nothing to do with them. Mainly because I'm physically unable to perform them anymore.
And I think, I can tell you, like in my experience, after a while, your partner's like, we're good. We've lived our lives.
Yeah.
We keep it simple.
But I wasn't kidding about that number of orgasms comment. I've maybe 2 or 3 times in my entire life have I gone more than one. So
I'm in the same boat.
I never understood that. And maybe because, like Josh said, because the one orgasm that I have, it's a keeper. I never really felt, even when I was a young guy, when gals with me, you want to try it again? You want to go again? No, not really. I didn't get that. I didn't get that whole, we did it 5-6 times yesterday. Ow! Jesus, you're not.
Get a job.
And, like I was explaining about the changing of positions, I liked, when I was young, I liked to go for as long as possible. Beer breaks even. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Sure,
yeah. Mm-hmm. That was the thing for me. So once I had that one, Christ, I was good.
TBI Epilepsy Jesus said he has purchased a seat outside my bedroom window. He'll be sitting in section 305, row 2.
Some people are texting and wondering if there are weight classes for this tournament. Not that I'm aware of. A fella named Dragan Bradic, the president of the Swedish Federation of Sex, he says that the recognition of sex as a sport was inevitable. Sex as a sport. He emphasized the importance of training. He said, just like any other sport, achieving desired results in sex requires training. So be ready. If you're going to sign up for the European Sex Championship, by God, I hope you practiced.
I wonder if there's age classes.
Oh, yeah.
There should be. Mm-hmm. Don't you think?
Like how golf has like the senior tour?
You shouldn't put a 60-year-old against like a 20-year-old. That's just not fair.
Just for the record, she said 60.
Yes, 60.
For a second there, I thought you said 6.
No.
And I was going to call the police.
Oh.
We got her.
Heading over to the Netherlands now. And they've got a situation in a neighborhood over there. By God, I'll tell you about it right now. There's a popular nude beach. And nobody's got a problem with that. Go ahead and be nude at the effing nude beach. But they say folks got to knock it off with all the sexual intercourse at the nude beach.
I've never seen something like that. I've heard rumors about particular beaches around town, but never witnessed it myself.
Oh, around here? Really?
Yeah, I haven't even seen the nudity.
Well, I've seen sex at the nude beach, but this was in an area where it was encouraged.
Here in town?
No. When we were at those wacky-ass nude resorts back in the day, Josh.
I've seen it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I even saw
heard rumors around here, just haven't seen it.
I even did it. What am I saying here? So there's so much sex going on at this according to some, there's so much sex going on at this nude beach that they've had to go ahead and prop up no sex signs on the beach. It says on a sign, no sex. The town with the nude beach here is called Veer, just so you know. Veer is the name of the town. The cops in Veer are fielding a lot of complaints about the effing at the nude beach.
We're going to give you 15 minutes to knock that off.
One citizen said, the problem has been going on for a long time. You can recreate naked there, but if it becomes a sex meeting place, then I have a problem with that. There are undesirable situations that I find unsafe. According to the mayor of Veer, people are increasingly making online sex dates at the nude beach. He or she, the mayor, said they wait for each other there, naked.
If it's just a nude beach and you're going there expecting just a nude beach, you're just somebody who likes to be naked. It's not a sexual thing. What's the decorum if a gentleman is in action mode with his penis? Are you looked at as some pervert, get out of here? Or?
Yes, I believe from what I've heard from folks who go to nude beaches, you can't just be walking up and down the beach with a bone ski.
Okay, so it's not like, sorry, it just happened. It's, dude, that is so not right.
Yeah. Put it in the sand until it goes away. Jam it into a sand castle or something. Or go
just put a beach towel on it.
Go behind a tree. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Decorum. Cubby, the word you use. That's not proper decorum.
Yeah, it seems like there'd be rules.
Mm-hmm. So here's what's going on now. There are people making your Tinder dates, hey, just I'll be naked, you be naked. We meet on this nude beach and we'll bump. They don't like that vibe. And this is really strange to read this out loud, but this is the words of the mayor over there. There are families with children, he or she says. So they say, we don't want the random naked dude with a boner looking for his Tinder date wandering around the nude beach. I get it, like we were just discussing. That's considered bad decorum. But for Christ's sake, can we also talk about the naked families with naked children?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Just my opinion here, but naked families with naked children, what the hell are you doing? Mm-hmm. You don't bring naked kids to an effing scene where there are nude effing adults wandering around.
Don't bring naked kids out in public.
But I mean, and I'm sure someone is thinking, well, what a closed-minded son of a bitch. I get it. You're so open-minded, but I just don't. You don't bring a naked child into that situation.
Yeah, that's not for me. Mm-mm. And I'd be pretty uncomfortable if I saw that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would stay as far away from that as possible.
I would run in the other direction.
Sounds kind of funny. We're talking about, let's not be effing each other's brains out at the nude beach. You just don't often expect for the end of that sentence to be, there's families here.
Yeah.
Think about the children.
Yeah, you don't have to think too hard because they're right there.
Right.
Right at crotch level.
So the deal is some of the regulars at the nude beach say that the no sex signs aren't necessary. They say that there haven't been that many issues with people penetrating each other at the nude beach. So some are saying it's being blown out of proportion. Some are saying it's whatever. I would think, okay, let's If I were the mayor and someone put all these problems on my table, I'd say, first things first, we're getting the damn kids out of there.
Yes.
Yeah, it does seem like there should be an age limit.
Here we go again. We get so many of these stories that the only way to keep them interesting is to turn them into a game. So let's play. What did a dude ram up into his bottom? Let's give her. The dude had to go off to the emergency room. Who wants to make the first guess in our game? What did a dude ram up into his bottom?
A cue ball.
A cue ball.
Oh, that would not feel good.
Like, say, from a billiard table.
Indeed.
That's the one I was picturing. Of all the cue balls.
Waffle, why don't you go ahead next?
Let's go a flashlight.
A flashlight, like, say, you might bring into the woods in order to find a campsite.
Yes.
In the dark.
Yeah, a cylinder that has a light at the end of it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Battery powered. There's an on-off button. Smashly. The game is what did a dude ram up into his bottom?
I was gonna say glow stick.
A glow stick.
Yeah.
Glow stick.
So you can find
your buddy?
Your way to his
yeah, there you go.
To his small intestine. The correct answer is a can of deodorant spray.
Oof.
Oh. But those were all terrific guesses. This was, I believe, a 30-year-old dude in Iranskis. The story here from the New York Post. Listen to this, Josh. The story here from the New York Post called this situation, quote, a heinous anus pursuit of sexual pleasure. Heinous pursuit of sexual pleasure. I also like this quote from the story where they state that items like spray deodorant cans are, quote, commonly self-inserted rectally in male youths with erotic attitudes.
Commonly.
This Iranian dude, it says here, he's been seen before in a hospital for a, quote, rectal foreign body insertion. He's a repeat customer. Surgeons had to go up into the guy's guts to fetch the deodorant bottle. They also had the guy go ahead and have a chat with a psychiatrist.
I mean, this wasn't like a little box of Axe, or a little can of Axe spray. This thing was gigantic. It was like a spray paint size.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Before they cut him loose, they had him talk to a psychiatrist. And Josh is right. This reminded me of the mid-'80s when you could go to the, Target or whatever and buy that big, tall can of, who sold the spray deodorant back then? I never was into the spray.
Like Old Spice, maybe? I don't know.
I can't think of there was one big company who sold a lot of those big spray deodorant cans. Maybe it was Sure. I don't know. Do you guys even know what can happen if you mess around throwing weird objects into yours or somebody else's can? Have we covered this? I'll tell you. Foreign objects can perforate the bowel, causing fecal matter to seep into your abdominal wall, causing potentially fatal infections. So there you go.
That's not good. Oof.
This here next story brings about a couple of different questions for me personally. I'll let her buck here, and maybe some of you have the same questions that I do. Maybe you have some different questions. Police in Japan arrested an 85-year-old man for trying to steal condoms from a convenience store.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's what some are saying. So great-grandpa walked into the joint. He jams 2 packs of rubbers into his pocket, and he tries to leave. The manager of the store saw him do it. She stops him at the door. She calls the cops. No word here on whether or not the store is going to dump charges on the old-timer. Police say the condoms were worth about $14. So here are the questions I had in mind. Number one, an 85-year-old is still firing that thing off now and again?
Or maybe he just puts it over a can of aerosol spray and keisters it.
Oh, God.
Or maybe he's a drug smuggler and keisters it.
Yeah.
Never assumed any of those things.
Always about the keister with Josh.
Isn't it Al Pacino? He's 83 and he's having a kid?
Yeah.
I think there's some questions there, but yeah, that was the announcement.
That's insane.
I assume that at 85, it's more or less assault with a dead weapon. You know what I'm saying?
I guess they got pills for that, right?
Yeah.
Remember one of my favorite moments from my neighborhood bar, the three oldest sumbitches in the bar are sitting at a table together a number of years ago. One of these guys is dead now. They're three old bastards sitting together at a table, and the oldest one, battles his way off the chair, and he begins to waddle his way out the bar. And one of the other old boys goes, "Well, where the hell are you going?" And he goes, "Oh, I got a date tonight." And the other old boy goes, "Ha! Assault with a dead weapon."
Was Right Guard the deodorant you were thinking of?
That's it. That is it.
Thank you, brother and sister.
The brother and sisterhood, always. So my first question is, man, an 85-year-old is still firing that poor thing off now and again? My second question is this, Josh, and you brought up some scenarios that, I never would have thought of. Maybe he's throwing aerosol cans up into his bung. My second question was this. If an 85-year-old man is looking to use rubbers, does that mean he's possibly currently pinning a gal who was young enough to where pregnancy is a concern?
Oh, I immediately
it's possible.
thought he's in an old folks' home and STDs are crazy.
Yes.
Aren't they?
I pictured STDs. I'm always picturing STDs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of them are really gross.
Yeah, they are.
But that's what I had thought. It was
There
more
you
of
go.
an STD thing.
I don't know why I didn't. But wait a minute. Oh, okay. I was just going to ask. At the old folks' home, there's no fear of pregnancy. You just got done saying STDs. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. I forget that. I don't think it was necessary to involve the police in this, by the way.
Yeah, I don't really think so either.
I mean, he wasn't going to sprint away from the store when you caught him with the rubbers like a teenage kid, but just wrestle the condoms out of his old bruised hands.
Right.
Yeah, I would just push him a little.
Yeah, tell him to cut that out. STDs at the old folks' home. That's a good one.
You're right, though, Ashley. It's crazy. Those stories, they'll pop up every once in a while. They'll talk about how they're just riddled with STDs.
Yep.
Everyone's sneaking in everybody's room at night.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody shares.
I don't know where all this yuck is coming from. I can't wait to catch those damn things. I don't care what it...
True, you don't care after a certain point, I bet.
No.
Yeah.
If I'm at the Blue Hair Motel, I'm going room to room, see what's up. I don't care what you got. Or what I got. If you're a little older, you certainly remember playing Duck Hunt on the original Nintendo. Ducks fly across the television screen. You use that gray and orange gun-shaped controller. Everybody played Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
I used to love Duck Hunt.
That damn dog. He'd laugh at you if you missed the ducks. And you'd always try to shoot him, but you can't shoot the dog in the game.
Oh, yeah.
You sadistic bastard. You can't kill a dog.
I tried to kill the dog almost immediately.
Wow.
I never really got terribly dialed into Duck Hunt.
Oh, I thought it was really
Yeah,
cool.
A lot of fun playing Duck Hunt growing up.
I usually just skipped that one.
That's the first game I ever remember playing with a gun. Mm-hmm. And then obviously, was there anything before that?
No, because that was like a pack-in game. It came with, the Nintendo system came with the gun, and it came with Mario and Duck Hunt on the same cartridge.
Right.
Ooh,
Yes, that was fun.
A 25-year-old guy in North Carolina named David Delisandro robbed a convenience store last Tuesday afternoon with the damn Duck Hunt gun. It was painted black, so it wasn't that obvious at first that he was using his Nintendo plastic stupid gun.
I bet, Dana, you could pick it out.
Yeah.
I bet you'd know right away.
I saw the picture of it. I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, even if I didn't know the context, when I seen the picture, I'm like, yeah, that's a Duck Hunt gun.
Now, the guy's only 25 years old, so it's unclear if he knew what it was. You know, the duck hunt game was before his time, so maybe it says here in the story is a decent guess. Maybe he found it in his folks' basement or something like that and thought it would make a good gun for a robbery. The robbery was successful momentarily. He showed the gun, and he got $300 from the register at this convenience store, but the clerk called the cops. They found him down the street. They arrested him. He didn't get very far. To wrap up the story, yes, it says here, somewhere a cartoon dog is giggling at him. Is there anything fun about the mug shot? It says there's a mug shot of him out with his gun.
You get to see the gun.
Yeah. Does he look like a complete derelict?
He looks like the type of guy that might try something like this.
Dana, do you think if we hadn't hired you a couple years ago, you'd be robbing porn shops and liquor stores with a duck hunt gun?
Yeah, I said my life probably would have come to that for sure.
And a headband?
Mm-hmm. I brought a couple duck hunt guns to a wedding once. My buddy got married out in Nevada, and it was in this old-timey town, so it was like a Western theme. That was the attire. So I got a couple duck hunt guns, cut the cords off, and put them in holsters. I felt pretty cool.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
Just awesome.
I thought, I was going to mention, the guy from this duck hunt story, he kind of looked like the lead singer of My Chemical Romance. Did everybody see him?
No, I wouldn't know what that looks like.
Gerard Way, is that?
Yep.
All right, one more here for you. Drive-through employees, man. Or just in general, employees of fast food restaurants. I'd like to take a moment to recognize those folks. You're good people who get little or no respect. I don't know how you put up with all the entitled ass clown grown folks who act more like bitchy children. Just know that there are people who appreciate what you do. Of all the stupid idiots who ruin the fast food experience for the rest of us and for fast food employees, this is an odd one. This is a customer who was upset by the fact that her order cost less than she expected. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a head scratcher.
Yeah, that's confusing there.
Never been mad about that before.
Last Wednesday afternoon, a middle-aged lady with a gray hairdo, she went through a Burger King drive-thru in Omaha, Nebraska. She was told her order would be about $8. But when the woman pulled up to the drive-thru window, the drive-thru employee handed her a small bottle of milk, which was part of her order. And then the drive-thru worker told her the order was actually only about $7. For some unknown reason, the idea that her order was going to cost less than expected really upset the customer lady.
I wonder if she misunderstood.
Maybe she heard $7.
Yeah, maybe she. That's the only thing that really makes sense.
Mm-hmm. She was so upset by she threw the milk back at the drive-thru worker.
Oh. Wow, that's a waste. That makes me mad.
And hit the worker in the chest with the milk. And then she sped off without her order and without paying for it.
What?
Nightmare Jesus said that usually means they forgot something. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, someone's going to have to explain this one further to me. She was told that her order cost less than expected, and it caused a meltdown. You know what would be fun? If I were the manager of this Burger King, you get the video surveillance footage of this lady's face, so the next time she swings by the drive-thru, everybody knows it's her. And right when she starts barking her order into the drive-thru speaker, I'd walk out and say, "I'm sorry, ma'am, it's company policy that you wear a mask while placing your drive-thru order."
Well, that'll calm her right down.
Yeah.
I
And
bet
then
that would
sit
go
back
well
and
over.
enjoy the childlike meltdown that she puts on. Oh, that'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a riot. "I'm sorry, you can't place your order unless you're wearing a mask." There you go. Who gets a bottle of milk at the drive-thru?
I do. I'm that person.
Are you
for
really?
sure.
Yeah,
yes.
I was thinking, like, you got a middle-aged woman there, but maybe she was ordering for a kid. But hey, good for you and your bones, Ashley.
Yeah, I do it quite a bit. Well, because I don't really drink too much coffee. So if I get like a breakfast meal, I'm going with milk all day.
Milk!
My wife calls it milk.
Yeah. So does my pal Big Phil. He's always called it milk. Boy, I can't even think of the last time I had a glass of milk.
Me neither.
Really? I had some yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
Here's another suggestion on why this lady got upset. Maybe she got a senior discount last minute and was offended.
Oh, no.
There you go.
I'll take a senior discount all day. I'll take any discount.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Loser discount, whatever you want to throw at me.
Bald guy discount.
Short guy, bald, tiny penis, whatever you want. I don't care.
The tiny penis discount. Now.
Hey, how'd you save $1? I got a tiny penis.
Here, I'll show you.
Look at this little guy.
The Memorial Day tiny penis discount. Coming up at Lowe's or whatever.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Miami's challenging the out call at home plate.
The Marlins are going to challenge that.
They got their heads up their ass.
Well, there's an umpire right there, Cubby, who wasn't terribly interested in going through with a replay.
Not at all. I wonder how often they talk like that when the mics are off.
Oh, I wish they were always mic'd up like that. That'd be so fun. Tune in.
Yeah, that sounds like something you might experience in the XFL.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not necessarily Major League Baseball.
Friggin' A, that's good. Miami Marlins game recently. The Marlins wanted to replay an out at first base, I think it was, and the umpire has to announce that to the crowd. The Marlins are replay or whatever. Didn't turn his mic off. They got their heads up their ass. That guy's a pimp. Twins and Guardians split their 4-game series. Cleveland won yesterday at Target Field by a 2-1 final. They got a lot of starters out. Everyone's either hurt or sick on the ball club. Even Rocco. Rocco caught some of that diverticulitis.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh, he's going to the bathroom.
Yeah. Is that like a diarrhea thing?
It can be. It has to do with like eating too much nuts and grain or something like that. Yeah.
Dana, watch out.
I was just piling down some peanuts during that last commercial break.
It sounded like you said penis. I mean, that didn't sound like peanuts at all.
No, you don't know what goes on in this room, Josh.
We got to smoke that window. I don't want to see that. All right, hell, I want to see it.
I agree. It sounded very much like he said penis.
Yeah, I think you said penis.
We'll have to listen back, but maybe I was just kind of saying what, it was like a Freudian slip. What I really wanted to be consuming was the penis.
I'll have some penis, please.
The Freudian slip.
That's cool.
Brings up one of the... Was that cool or what, Wobble?
That was cool.
Are you referring to when Dana said he's eating penis?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool.
That's cool, man. You do you, man. That's cool.
One of the greatest...
Or you do whoever you want.
One of the greatest lines in Cheers history, now that somebody brought up a Freudian slip. So, I think Frasier referred to something that someone said at the bar as a Freudian slip. Oh, that was a Freudian slip. And Woody says, what's a Freudian slip? And Cliff says... That's where you say one thing, but you mean a mother. They're going to take a day off today, the Twins, and then fire up a series in Tampa Bay. The NBA Finals is tied at 1 win apiece in the best of 7. The Miami Heat won Game 2 in Denver last night. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final is tonight in Nevada. Nevada, how do you say it,
I
Josh?
say Nevada.
Do you say Nevada? It'll be televised on TBS starting at 7 o'clock. The Golden Knights won Game 1 by a couple of goals. We'll get into all of this in about a half hour. Randy Shaver joining us live from his golf tournament. Brad Ryder, too. We'll be right back with Josh's news.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud. They lose control. They do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Did you know African American men and men with a family history are at higher risk of being diagnosed with prostate cancer? It is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in men in the U.S. There are usually no early warning signs with prostate cancer, which is why it is important to know your risk and talk to your doctor about whether prostate cancer testing is right for you. Early detection is key. Make an appointment with your doctor today. For more information on prostate cancer, visit urologyhealth.org. This message was brought to you by the Urology Care Foundation.
98.9 KISS FM with Casey Summers to get you through your workday.
I'm Casey Summers, Charlie Puth coming up, and also Katy Perry in minutes.
Weekdays from 10 to 3 on 98.9 KISS FM.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
It was chaos. No one knew what was going on. Communication was through our kids.
Law enforcement is investigating 2 separate threats made at a Maple Grove middle school last week. Students and staff had to evacuate the school Thursday afternoon following a bomb threat made over the phone. A search was performed at the school. No explosive devices or materials were found. In an email to parents regarding a second threat made via social media, district officials assured them that they said that data privacy laws prohibited them from sharing more. A 15-year-old has been arrested, and the incident is under investigation. According to data recorded by the Minnesota Department of Education, there were 36 bomb threats and 356 terrorist threats made in Minnesota public schools just last school year.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Dana, you were good for 10 of those.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a confusion, though. You said, woo, I just blew up that bathroom. And then there's a police response. A North Carolina bus driver and passenger opened fire on each other following an argument over an unscheduled stop. This video's up on 93x.com, right, Ashley?
Yep.
This is crazy. May 18th. Shortly before 11:20 a.m., bus driver David Fullard and passenger Omari Tobias got into an altercation after Tobias asked Fullard to let him off at a non-assigned bus stop. Fullard said no, which was then followed by a 2-minute escalation of a verbal altercation, police said. Both men then proceeded to draw weapons and began to shoot at each other. The bus came to a stop. Video shows the bus driver shooting and then exiting the bus and then shooting again.
Both individuals sustained life-threatening injuries. However, they are both now stable and expected to make full recoveries.
The passengers charged with assault with a deadly weapon, inflicting serious injuries, communicating threats, and carrying a concealed firearm. The driver was terminated by his employer following that shooting.
What the hell's the matter with these people?
Oh, I got a gun too, man.
Very intense video.
A police pursuit of a stolen school bus came to an end late Tuesday morning after the chase led officers across state lines. According to the Indiana State Police, 32-year-old Chad Murdoch stole the school bus from the Cincinnati area before leading numerous police departments on a chase that lasted nearly an hour, leaving a trail of damage in the pursuit's wake. An officer and 2 state troopers followed the bus before attempting a traffic stop. Murdoch drove through numerous yards and fields while attempting to outrun authorities in the stolen school bus. Numerous departments then joined that chase. The bus even had its tires deflated after officers successfully deployed a deflation device. State police said the chase finally came to an end after police boxed in the bus as it drove through another field. Police said at least 3 police vehicles were damaged due to collisions with the bus during that pursuit. Multiple fields and yards also sustained damage due to Murdoch driving the bus through the properties.
Came through that field, came through our lot, traveled right through here, right where we're standing.
Neither Murdoch nor any officers were injured during that chase.
Why was this guy so determined to get away?
Well, he stole a bus.
Oh,
yeah.
He stole the bus.
Yeah, he stole a school bus. You can see that video on 93x.com.
Jesus, man. Don't you wish when you were a 5th grader, the bus driver would have taken that sumbitch through just one field?
Yeah, I never thought it could make it through something like that. That's impressive.
They'll make it.
Yeah, we had a bus driver that was pretty good at hitting curbs, which was always good for a laugh or two.
That was always fun, yeah.
That's the only off-roading. A pregnant school bus driver safely got 37 students off the bus just before it became engulfed in flames.
It feels good, like seeing the kids this morning, just them thanking me, the school thanking me, because if it was my kid on that bus, I would have wanted the bus driver to do the exact same thing.
Just blocks from their destination at the Milwaukee Academy of Science Wednesday morning, the driver smelled something burning. She initially thought the smell was coming from another vehicle. It wasn't. She'd been driving for 2 hours by then and had kindergartners to high schoolers on board. Firefighters put out the blaze, and the bus driver, who's due to give birth in August, was taken to a hospital as a precaution. What caused that fire is being investigated.
Did they investigate what caused the pregnancy?
They know what caused that.
They do know.
Yeah,
Oh.
unprotected sex.
Christ almighty, I
They
knew
put
it.
that down in the report.
I knew it.
Also in Milwaukee, new video shows a portion of 34-year-old Daniel Barton's brief joyride in a stolen police car Tuesday. Reportedly his second stolen police car joyride to date. According to the Shorewood Police Department, Barton was awaiting trial for having stolen another squad car months earlier, I should say. This allegedly happened in December, with Barton getting arrested by Milwaukee police for allegedly stealing an officer's vehicle during a traffic stop.
It's kind of his thing. Huh?
Yeah, it's his thing. He loves it. According to a complaint for the December incident, Barton was recorded on dash cameras giggling as he drove off in the pilfered car.
I bet I'd be giggling too.
He was later found and arrested in a garbage can.
Oh, he was in a garbage can.
Because he's trash. The latest video shows Shorewood officers reacting to seeing Barton drive away with yet another squad car.
Is that your squad? What the That's your squad.
It's a little tough to hear the video, but one officer says, "Is that your squad?" The other says, "What the F?" And then the first one says, "That's your squad." Police reportedly found Barton minutes later, laughing his ass off.
In a garbage can.
This time not in a garbage can.
Oh, this time not in it.
Police at the scene of a car crash witnessed a motorist drive up a tow truck's lowered ramp at freeway speeds and then do a Dukes of Hazzard jump off it. The wild scene was straight out of an action movie. Police body cam video shows a wrecker sitting in the left lane of the divided 4-lane highway across from where authorities were working on a crash. Then, suddenly, a Nissan Altima is seen racing toward the lowered ramp of the tow truck before soaring some 120 feet before crashing down to the roadway. This is incredible video. You can see this on 93x.com. If you haven't seen this yet, it's awesome. Yep. An emergency worker who had been walking in front of the tow truck narrowly escaped. A sheriff's deputy was hit by airborne debris and taken to the hospital as a precaution. They're going to be fined. The driver, a 21-year-old woman from Tallahassee, was also taken to a hospital to be treated for her injuries.
Oh, I got to check this out, huh?
Yeah.
You do.
It's amazing that happened and that everybody's okay.
Dukes of Hazzard had that kind of a setup every single episode from 1978 to 1983.
That's what kept me watching.
Mm-hmm. There was always a car launching itself off of oh my God, I'm watching the video right now. How in God's name does that happen?
But if this was Dukes of Hazzard, they'd stop the video mid-jump and then what them Duke boys going to do now? And then they go to commercial.
Waylon Jennings would have said, I don't know how the boys are going to get out of this one. But
yeah, and that's almost like every racing game, you know, that's the jump that you have to take. It's always off of one of those.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's always off a flatbed or something.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They do her like that, Wapple. I'll tell you what they do.
A carjacker who opened fire on police had his penis shot off.
Oh.
Returning.
Shot it off?
Yeah.
What
Not
you
on
get,
purpose.
man.
Not on purpose. Returning fire in the streets of Cape Town, South Africa. Police were left pinned down in their vehicles until they hit one of two carjacking suspects. A police spokesperson said preliminary information reveals two suspects approached the vehicle of a counselor and a security team before opening fire. As we pulled in to turn around, we saw two men just shooting wildly. During the return fire, I can confirm he was shot in the arms and the groin, the spokesman said. The injured man was subsequently arrested, but not before officers realized they had shot him right through his wiener during an attempted carjacking.
You know, if this word spread, do you think it might have an effect on the carjacking numbers worldwide? You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, if we catch you, we're going to shoot your penis off.
This could be a public service announcement of sorts.
Yeah. Cars will be the only thing you'll be jacking the rest of your life. Your local police department.
I bet it would dummy down the numbers a little bit.
Then Saturday, several patrons at an Asian restaurant in New York scurried to safety after a gunman in a red hoodie fired off several rounds. One male victim, a 35-year-old, was shot in the butt.
He took it right in the butt cheeks, huh?
Following an argument with an employee over a refund at a Missouri hotel, authorities say a 24-year-old woman shot and wounded two people, a 7-year-old in the elbow, and a 36-year-old man in the testicles. Oh. The incident began when 24-year-old Samantha Thrasher, nearly hit a woman and the two shooting victims with her SUV. The woman said she yelled at Thrasher, who yelled back. The witness said Thrasher entered the hotel lobby and demanded a refund. The employee told her she couldn't provide the refund for the room, only a manager could. The two argued, and Thrasher allegedly grabbed her by the hair and struck her. The male victim intervened and escorted Thrasher out of the hotel's front door. She swung at him with a fist before walking to her vehicle and retrieved a gun. She returned to the lobby seconds later and began opening fire. One of the rounds went through the top of a couch, exited the sofa, and passed through a girl's elbow just above a third person's head. The male victim had been shot at least 4 times with wounds to his back and his testicles.
I can't imagine the pain and the terror
and the embarrassment
of taking a bullet to the pills.
2 people were arrested in Oklahoma for allegedly body slamming the manager of a Sonic drive-in because they were incorrectly served a hot dog with jalapenos on top.
Oh, that's good though. Man, I love Sonic.
Quantarius Simmons and Andres Briscoe arrived with 2 other people at the fast food restaurant and ordered a hot dog with a side of jalapeno poppers around 7:30 p.m. Saturday, May 27th.
Okay.
Instead, however, the group received a hot dog with jalapenos on it, triggering an argument with employees. A manager stepped in to try and quell the situation, but Simmons allegedly exited the vehicle and tried to enter a closed-off section of the restaurant. When the manager tried to stop him, police say Simmons dragged the man outside and began beating him before body slamming him to the ground.
God dang.
As Simmons attacked him, Briscoe allegedly stepped out to join in on the beating, having still been upset about the misplaced jalapenos. Police noted that Briscoe actually ended up hitting Simmons more in the wild brawl than she did the manager. Not very good at her aim, I guess.
No, I guess not.
And
we're a little out of control here, aren't we, Josh?
It appears that way.
Yeah.
In other Sonic hot dog news, an employee in New Mexico was arrested after he lost his bag of cocaine that somehow ended up on a customer's hot dog.
That's pretty scary. You know, we come here to get food for our families, and if a child found that, it could have been pretty bad or deadly.
Kind of crazy. I mean, cocaine in a hot dog, I mean, doesn't sound right.
He's right. Very astute.
Like there's a matter of fact about it.
You know, I don't think that's supposed to happen. The substance was
condiment.
Inadvertently placed in the food as 54-year-old Jeffrey Salazar was preparing the order. According to the incident report, a woman called police Tuesday after she discovered she bit into a plastic bag. She doesn't believe she consumed any of the cocaine.
Next thing you know, her mouth is all numb.
The security video is pretty funny because he's looking around like, what did I do with that cocaine? Oh, my God, where did this cocaine go?
Cocaine on a hot dog. I've never heard of that before.
A woman attempted to rob a Wells Fargo bank in Spring Hill, Florida last week, but made the investigation quite easy to solve. According to the Hernando Sheriff's Office, about 12:30 p.m. Wednesday, a woman, later identified as 31-year-old Vanessa Ortega, came into the bank holding a bright blue object in her left hand that allegedly resembled a firearm. The sheriff's office said Ortega raised the object in the air and yelled, "This is a robbery, give me all your money." She then allegedly went to the teller window and said she was only joking before withdrawing cash from her own bank account. When detectives arrived, bank staff said they could identify her because she was a regular customer at the branch. Detectives also identified Ortega because they had previous law enforcement contacts with the woman. Yeah, they don't joke about that. A Pennsylvania man's behind bars after starting a house fire while burning spiders. Police and firefighters responded to the home of 42-year-old Joshua Jenkins Thursday, May 25th, about 7 p.m.
Burning spiders.
After he called 911 saying his house was in danger of burning down. According to the criminal complaint, he said he was using a propane torch to burn spiders and spider nests around the outside of his house because he was sick of all the spiders and bugs. While Jenkins denied using the torch inside, numerous burn marks were found inside the kitchen during the investigation. He was charged with arson, risking a catastrophe, possession of an instrument of crime, tampering with evidence, and other lesser charges. Apparently, he was also a dick to first responders.
Don't do that.
Do you think he was really, overrun and bothered by all the spiders, or he's just one of these wacky sumbitches that likes to burn whatever crosses his path?
Oh, like
I'll bet
a pyro?
it's like a combination.
A combo?
Yeah. He had somewhat of a legit excuse and thought, I know it'd be more fun than getting a can of bug spray.
Fire.
Yeah, lighting him on fire.
Well, just announced early this morning, the 4th of July Booze Cruise is back. And right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, if you text the word booze B-O-O-Z-E, Booze, to 651-989-9393. You get a shot to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Half-Assed Morning Show Booze Cruise Friday, June 30th in Stillwater. Thank you to Stillwater Riverboats and Anytime Bail Bonds for allowing us to make this happen once again. Best of luck.
Here we go again.
Comedian Nick Kroll, 45 today. And 2017's highest paid actor, Mark Wahlberg, turns 52.
He got the most money back in 2017.
Yeah,
huh?
Big money in 2017. Good luck to Deadhead Jesus having surgery this morning. Praying for the best for you, my man. Happy 30th anniversary to Hot Oven Lovin' Jesus from Slapnuts Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
I'm a big guy. I'm a big, strong guy.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I want to always be erect when you make contact. Like a telephone pole.
Oh! And Keith Hernandez calling a New York Metropolitans game. It seems like he does that kind of stuff.
Quite often, doesn't it?
Quite often.
Yeah, he steps in it.
Tries to throw a monkey wrench in it. Although I don't think that the whole broadcast needed to come to a halt because he said erect on television. But he did, and then the lead announcer couldn't talk for 10 seconds.
Yeah, I even shortened that up. It was longer that they lost it.
He's a wacky dude, that Keith Hernandez. Let's get her going. It's our first day back after a week off. Let's welcome our pals into the mix. From home, I assume, Brad Ryder. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning.
What's going on?
Just hanging out here, getting ready to start another week.
Getting ready to start another effing week. And we're waiting to hear from Randy Shaver, who I assume is busy. Randy will be getting back to us as soon as he can, live from Rush Creek Golf Course for his big charity.
That morning shotgun started, I assume.
Yeah, they usually get going right around now, live from his big charity golf tournament. Randy Shaver, are you there?
There he is.
Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I'm herding cats here this morning.
Herding cats.
Trying to get everybody off and running. When our carts are moving, everybody's heading out. So
what kind of
crazy morning?
What kind of big time celebrities do you have out there this morning?
Oh yeah, give us the rundown.
Well, here I got today. This is awesome. I've got 3 baseball Hall of Famers on the course today. Ooh. Jack Morris is playing this morning. Paul Molitor's playing this morning. Tony Oliva is playing this morning.
Awesome.
And Joe Mauer is out here this morning.
Future Hall of Famer.
Come next summer.
Yeah.
If they all 4 show up, I'll have 4 Hall of Famers out here.
Damn.
So,
well, we know where all the girls are. Yeah. Whatever hole Joe Mauer's at.
Johnny Randall's out here this morning.
Awesome.
Kevin Tapani's back out. I love Kevin. He's great. Of course, from the Twins World Series teams. Just a ton of guys. Just a ton of guys.
Does Kevin Tapani live in town, or is he coming to town for your event?
Yeah. You know, he used to coach baseball down in the South Metro and doesn't anymore, from what I understand. But yeah, it's been a few years since Tap has been able to get out here to play, which is awesome to have. And Jimmy Pete's out here playing this morning. Cole Aldrich is out here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, quite a few guys. You know, and some guys that I haven't seen in a long time. Al Newman is out here.
Those are some great names.
It's great. And Glenn Perkins I haven't seen Glenn this morning, but he's scheduled to be out here, so we'll see.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
One of my favorite pictures that we have of my stepson involves Al Newman. Randy, you'll probably remember he played at your charity softball tournament, and the two of them were sitting next to each other on the bench, and it's one of my favorite pictures.
That's cool.
It's awesome seeing him.
Your stepson.
Al Newman is just one of the most wonderful people in the world. He just really is. He's always got a smile on his face. He's just a wonderful guy.
The one day we spent with him at that charity softball tournament was wonderful. He treated everybody like they were a long-lost buddy.
Yeah.
I remember even making some phone calls to try to organize people to show up for the event, and when I called Al Newman's number, he was just so welcoming, and it wasn't like talking to a complete stranger in any way, shape, or form. Those are some great names. Kevin Tappan, he's one of my favorite all-time Minnesota Twins that some fans forget about. Jim Peterson is the best in the damn business when it comes to calling basketball games. I'm a big fan of Jim's and have been since I was a kid.
I got the great famous Blake Hoffarber out here this morning after a few years of not being able to play. He's got young kids and
Blake
wasn't able to kind of. You remember Blake shooting it from the butt?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. From the high school tournament, a great gopher.
Not only that, but the buzzer beater against Indiana in the Big Ten tournament as a Golden Gopher. He's two of the most memorable shots in Minnesota basketball history, Blake Hoffarber.
If you don't mind, who can you expect from the afternoon group?
The afternoon group.
Lou Nanny is going to be out here this afternoon. Terry Steinbach is going to be out here. I'm sorry, I don't have my list in front of me. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. Todd Bauman, former Viking quarterback. Oh, you know who's playing this afternoon?
Who that?
Our boy, DePaula.
Nice. That's great. Cool.
Yeah, our boy DePaula is going to be out here this afternoon. I got his card on Thursday.
That's
wonderful. I'll be here. Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, he owes us an in-studio visit. I know he's been trying to work it out. It'd be awesome to get him in
We
here.
tried to drag him in a couple weeks ago, and something happened. We should do our best, maybe get Andrew in as soon as possible. So, Randy, all day long, you'll be having your charity golf tournament out there at Rush Creek. There's a morning group. There's an afternoon group. You're very busy. We appreciate you taking the time to jaw jack with us, although we know you like to get that beer money.
First of all, I got to tell everybody. So Nick shows up at my event last night, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And Josh, he wore sleeves.
Well, he can class it up when he needs to.
That's right.
I didn't recognize him at first.
I gifted him a box of sleeves one Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what my boyfriend said, Nick, because I went as well, and I saw Nick there, and my boyfriend Jeremy said, I wouldn't have recognized him at all if you didn't.
Wait, to be clear, only sleeves? Or did... There was a shirt there, too?
There was a shirt with buttons, actually, too.
And I got to tell you have a wonderful lady. She's just fabulous. What a great person.
Oh, yeah, she's the best.
She is keeping him in check.
I'm not sure which one.
You all kicked your coverage.
I'll kick my coverage. Christ, I settled.
I'm not sure which one he brought, but if it's the one I'm thinking of, she is one of the sweetest and most intelligent people I know. True story.
Ashley and I were able to go to the gala last night at Medina Ballroom. Great party, Randy.
Thank you.
And I wore a clean, sleeved shirt with buttons, no hat.
Really?
No hat. And I'm not surprised that maybe you didn't recognize me because, that's pretty rare.
So this shirt, it didn't say, like, Halloween 2023 tour with Friday's date on it, or I guess it would be a week ago Friday.
It said nothing.
It actually had a collar.
Whoa. Collar.
It had a collar.
It didn't say anything about Rick's Cabaret or Iron Maiden on it anywhere.
It wasn't printed at all.
Was it rented?
It wasn't. I bought the damn thing.
Really? Wow.
I got to see, Ashley and I both got to see Randy and his wife last night. We got to see Brad and Brad's wife. Met Brad's wife for the very first time.
Yeah, your wife is so nice.
Coverage issues. So you have coverage issues as well.
Yeah, I realize that. I've realized that for 26 years.
There are
That's very true. I thought the same thing. I met your wife at a softball banquet.
Softball banquet, yeah.
Wonderful. Again, super intelligent friggin' lawyer. What's Brad doing with that? Doesn't make any sense. Why do you even work, Brad?
I'm hanging on for dear life, I'll tell you that.
Randy's wife is still slinging heat.
She always will.
Slinging.
She looks the same as when we first met her.
So it was a great party. So we were talking about some of the athletes that are going to be golfing today at Randy's event. And you mentioned John Randall. When I was walking through the silent auction items last night at Randy's, you don't have any idea how much money you raised yet last night, do you, Randy?
Yeah, I think we're going to be, just in the auctions and the funded grant, we're going to be over $100,000.
Oh, awesome. Man,
that's so cool.
That's terrific. One of the silent auction items, and I thought of you right away, Josh. I thought
they're expecting us to be over like 450. So
Holy heck, that's awesome, dude.
Okay. I thought of you, Josh.
And a 32nd of that goes to charity. Randy's got a grandkid now he's got to
pay. One of the items up for auction was play a round of golf with John Randall.
Oh, my
That's
gosh,
correct.
that'd be a blast.
And John Randall did that himself. I didn't have to ask John. I will put out a feeler every year for guys to say, hey, would you be interested in donating a signed auction item for the auction? And I get, jerseys and baseball signed and things like that. It's great. But John, when I talked to John said, he goes, you know what, how about a round of golf, 2 people and myself at Spring Hill? I went, are you kidding? He goes, no, it'd be great. So, so that was one of the auction items last night, was to play a round of golf with John Randall at Spring Hill.
See, here's the thing: is we've had the opportunity to meet John a couple of times at your event, and he is a wonderfully nice guy. And it's not 1993 anymore. I know that, but still, wouldn't most of us consider that kind of an intimidating situation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I don't want to ruin his mood.
No.
You know?
And you've seen him drive a ball. He gets pissed at that ball.
I have seen him drive a golf ball before and get angry at it, and that crossed my mind. I thought, what if Josh would win that? That day of golf with John Randall. I bet you would be puckered up a little bit. Like, let's not piss this guy off.
I don't want to say the wrong thing. Shoot, I should have thought to have you bid on something for me.
I should have thought to ask, but I know I walked out of there highest bidder for an item. Brad Ryder, did you even know this?
No, I didn't. I did too. But what did you get?
Oh, I was highest bidder. I got a new motorcycle. Some folks call it an e-bike. I call it a motorcycle because they're so similar.
You didn't get the 3-seater, though, did you?
No, there was a tandem bicycle up for...
Why didn't you get that? You and I could have just biked off to the sunset.
The cutest thing ever.
Because you got to pedal the sumbitch.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that.
I got the e-bike. I got the motorcycle.
That's great.
Man, I got outbidded. I had one of those quarter zips, those cool gopher quarter zips, and someone outbidded me last second.
That's what happens. They snipe you.
They got me.
Yeah. Well, Nick and I both saw a pretty pissy exchange at Randy's event one time. Some guy, it was a grill.
Yes.
And he stood right there. And somebody had to talk to him because he would bid pennies above, and they'd say, hey, there is like a $5 minimum bid on top of it.
This is a charity event, you cheap bastard.
This guy was really rude. Yeah, I don't know if he probably hasn't been back.
Now, last night
we don't do it that way anymore. It's all electronic now.
You do it on your cellular phone.
So the girl you brought helped you out.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. There's no way I could have figured that.
No.
We eliminate some of that face-to-face confrontation stuff.
Oh, Josh isn't kidding. We thought we were going to see an effing fist fight at your event 7-8 years ago because these two guys, one guy's guarding the sign-up sheet.
Yep.
And the other guy's like, hey, step aside, give someone else a chance. And then he notices the guy's going pennies. What are you, a nut job or something? Brad, what did you bid highest on?
I took home a Rush Creek foursome. I had 3 guys with me that said that they were going with me on that, and so we bid on that. I got that.
You did that one year, didn't you, Nick? Have a Rush Creek foursome?
Oh yeah.
You never got a chance to golf.
See, that was a Medina foursome. I think.
Oh, you're right. That was Medina.
You're both
same kind of area.
You're both close. It was Rush City. Where
I also took home a Crave gift card. So.
A Crave gift card.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that place is great.
It was a hell of a cool event, and the stand-up comic was funny, and all the speeches and
who was it?
Derek Richards.
Derek Richards.
Okay.
Derek Richards. He's kind of a regular in Vegas, and Roseanne and I, we were out there a year ago, and we went to a show, and I think he was at Jimmy Kimmel's Club in Vegas, and when he was done, when the show was done, Roseanne went right over to him, she always does, and just said, I would love to have you come to our event and do your act at our event. And the guy was like, well, tell me a little bit about your event. She goes, well, first of all, I just got to tell you, we're not going to pay you. and he didn't flinch when she said that. And then she explained, what the event is, and sure enough, there he was last night. So
yeah,
it's
he
great.
put on a great show.
That's awesome.
It was great to see Randy and Roseanne telling some of the stories of how your charity has helped people in the past, and you introducing, some of the researchers involved. It was a great event, and we appreciate you having us out there, Randy.
And Roseanne's the perfect person for that, because not only is she a very sweet person, she's also a very intimidating person. I bet no one's ever said no to Roseanne when she asked for something.
Yeah, this was actually
Pretty much not.
the first time I ever met her was last night, and she's awesome. She's such a spitfire.
Oh yeah, she's got a lot. You've never met her before?
No, I haven't had the chance to. I like when she gives you grief, Randy. That's my favorite thing in the world.
She's good at that.
She thinks she's tough. She thinks she is. It's all the show. And by the way, when at the end of the gala, somebody, maybe it was Randy on the mic, said, "Okay, make sure before you go, if you were highest bidder on an item, make sure you grab it before you go," right?
That's cool. You can take it right from
I could have walked that electric bicycle out of there. No one said jack squat. Even if I wasn't highest, I had to walk up to Randy and say, "Who the hell do I talk to? I don't want to just wheel this thing out of here."
It's called the honor system.
Well, yeah.
It's called the honor system.
That's
All right,
somebody was
Ashley,
gonna-
how much stuff did you steal? Be honest.
I had a texter. A texter said, "Okay, fine. Nick had no hat and he was wearing sleeves. Did he leave the chew at home?" I had one in my mouth the entire evening. Could you tell, Ashley?
No, couldn't tell.
See, high school gave me that practice of how to hide it. High school. Randy, real quick. You're mentioning Jack Morris, and you mentioned Tony Oliva. Who was the other Hall of Fame? Paul Molitor.
Paul Molitor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I miss your special story on Molitor, Winfield, and Morris?
Yes, you probably did. It is online. I did a story on St. Paul baseball, which the story kind of weaves its way around how in some part, St. Paul has produced 3 Hall of Famers, and with Joe, it'll be 4. They all grew up within miles of each other.
Right.
Not at the same time, obviously, because Joe's much younger. But it is pretty remarkable when you consider a northern city has produced 3 Hall of Famers, possibly 4. Only 3 other cities in the country have produced more baseball Hall of Famers than St. Paul: Los Angeles, New York, and Mobile, Alabama. And so when Maurer makes it, maybe not in January, but he will eventually, that would make 4. And the story is about, is there a 5th? I mean, is baseball still, and it is dying in some areas of St. Paul, sadly. So that's kind of what the story was. It was about what at one time the baseball royalty came from St. Paul. That iconic picture from 1985 at the Metrodome with Molitor and Winfield and Morris, all on the
All-Star team. Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
And they all started, by the way, in that game. So, yeah, I mean, the story is online. If you went to KARE11.com, you'd be able to find the story. The video, Major League Baseball has rules that you can't run actual footage online.
Okay.
So there would be pictures instead of video for some parts of the story.
Sure.
But you get the gist. And I was able to talk to all of them. I talked to Morris and Molitor, and Dave Winfield did an interview with me, and Joe. I talked to Billy Peterson, who was Winfield's coach at Oxford Playground in St. Paul in 1960s. Billy's still around. He's 82 years old. He's long time. He's a St. Paul baseball legend for sure. Dave St. Peter was part of the story. Frank White, who's a historian for St. Paul baseball, is part of the story. So
yeah, I figured I missed it on television while we were on vacation, but I wanted to ask you if you can catch it online. I'm glad I still can. I'll check that out. But really, Dave Winfield was the oldest of that group, but Molitor and Morris must have been very close in age.
They were. They're only like a year apart.
Yeah.
And they did play against each other a few times, not in high school, but more Legion ball.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew each other then. Just for point of reference, when Winfield was a senior in high school, Molitor was in 8th grade.
Okay.
So there's about a 5 or 6 year gap between the two of them. But again, I put a map up in this story to show where they grew up, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
That you have these three guys in the National Baseball Hall of Fame who grew up literally within miles of each other in St. Paul.
Mm-hmm. It's a great story.
Jack has a son who's a junior in high school this year at Shakopee High School. He's already committed to play at Clemson. He's a pitcher.
Is he?
Yep.
And, we heard some stories around here from, there was a salesman here for many, many years who grew up in St. Paul. And I believe maybe his brother played baseball against Jack Morris when they were high school age. And he said it was ridiculous. That basically, I mean, not taking any of Jack Morris's skills away, but the other kids were so fearful of Jack, because the dude said he was built like he was 35 years old when he was 16.
But here's the other thing, too, and Molitor will tell you this. He was also wild.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you've got a guy who throws hard, who's not consistently throwing it in the strike zone all the time, that can be terrifying, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what part of that intimidation factor was, the fact that Jack didn't always throw the ball in the strike zone.
There was risk of death.
Correct.
Risk of death. Last night, by the way, Randy Shaver, when you were being introduced on stage and someone mentioned you were a member of the Cedar Rapids Jefferson High School Hall of Fame, Brad Ryder said to me, he's not a member of the Clara City High School Hall of Fame, I'll tell you that. We shrugged that off, didn't we, Brad?
Yeah.
Cedar Rapids.
The laughter you might have heard from the background was us.
The Cedar Rapids High School Hall of Fame, I'll tell you. So there you are at a golf tournament. Tell me what you think of something like this, Randy Shaver. And Brad Ryder, you guys probably know, I'm positive you know more about this event than I do, and care way more about it than I do. The U.S. Open Golf Tournament to be held in Los Angeles, is that coming up? When does that happen?
It is. It's Father's Day weekend.
Father's Day weekend.
So a couple weeks from now. Yep.
All right, so some of the best golfers of all time. Did you know that there's a 13-year-old who might end up making the final cut?
I had not heard that story.
See that. Wow.
Run that by some of your hotshot golfers today, that there's a 13-year-old.
The qualifiers are going on now.
I find that hard to believe, to be honest with you.
Actually, it's hard to fathom, but I think that's possible, because anybody can qualify if you have a handicap of a certain amount. Yeah,
Really?
That's right. There is open events where people can qualify.
This kid is golfing today. His name is Jaden Sung. He's from Burbank, California, 13 years old. They say he can drive a golf ball 280 yards. Is that something or not?
For 13?
That's pretty good. Pretty cool.
These other guys, but yeah.
He's been covered by golf magazines and golf websites since he was 8. But he's one of 90 amateur players competing for 5 spots.
Yeah.
And he's playing today. The kid, I guess, is the new wonder of the golf
New Tiger.
world. Yes.
The new Tiger. Well, 280 is awesome. Certainly for that age, it's awesome. But it is short compared to the pros. And the thing about the U.S. Open that separates it from basically all of the other majors is that they grow the rough so deep. It is they make the course as the most difficult it could possibly be. I'm not sure where they're playing. Playing at Riviera. I'm not sure where they're playing in Los Angeles.
I think it's Los Angeles Country Club. Yeah.
Okay. They always make the U.S. Open as. In fact, normally the winning score is maybe -3, -4. I mean, for a pro event, that's pretty tough. So for a 13-year-old kid, if he does make it, that's certainly incredible in itself. But I would think there will be a long 2 days.
When you read some quotes from this kid, I bet. When you read some quotes from this kid, he doesn't sound 13 until the end of the story when he says he's pumped because he's missing school today.
That's awesome.
All right, the Twins and Guardians split their 4-game series. Cleveland won yesterday 2-1. Everybody's either hurt or sick.
Right.
On the Twins roster. They've got...
he was banged up.
Buxton, Gallo, Correa are injured. Kirilloff has a stomach problem. Rocco has diverticulitis.
That's not good.
Any of you ever battled that?
Thankfully,
no.
My folks have.
Yeah, it can be debilitating, actually, depending on what you eat. And, I mean, you have to really know your diet, because otherwise you're going to be battling, you're going to be fighting people for the restroom.
You talking about the old green apple quick steps kind of a thing?
Yeah. It is not a fun deal.
Rocco says he says he's feeling all right now, but last Friday was pretty bad.
Rocco! I'll bet, yeah.
Well, they're going to take... Hey, the Guardians and Twins, I mean, talk about two clubs that play close ball games. I think Dick said yesterday, Dick Bramer said in 7 games they've played this season against each other, the run differential is a total of 10.
Yeah. Somebody said, there was an article that said something about the Guardians and Twins continue the dead ball era, where the ball just isn't going anywhere. You know, they're not scoring any runs. Yeah, I mean, which is kind of, I mean, I can see it from Cleveland's perspective. They've had some issues just like the Twins. You know, their lineup has been in flux pretty much this entire season, too. So, and their pitching staff has not been as good as advertised so far.
I watched a little bit of Saturday's game, and Cleveland hit their second home run, and I think Dick or Justin or somebody may mention the fact that was the first game since April something that Cleveland had hit 2 home runs in a game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Their lineup is struggling, too. The Twins are going to take a day off today, then they fire up a series in Tampa Bay. Did everyone see the walk-off win for the White Sox against the Tigers? Bases loaded, wild pitch, hit the umpire in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, my.
Yes, I saw that. And
This
he was
dude-
wobbly afterwards. Oh, my.
Oh, Cubby, he dumped down to reading level,
Yeah,
I think.
we posted this, did we not?
Yes.
Yeah, this was on 93X.com.
It was a cross-up between the pitcher and the catcher for the Tigers. The catcher was, I'm guessing, expecting something off-speed. This dude threw a burner and hit the umpire between the stinking eyes. It knocks the mask off his face. And
You can tell the catcher was expecting something else because the catcher's mitt didn't move.
Oh, hell no.
Like normally he would go up and get that ball easily, but his mitt didn't move. He was expecting a breaking ball.
He had no idea. So that wild pitch won the White Sox the game. That's embarrassing for the Tigers.
Yes.
Is that the game that Liam Hendricks won? Was he the winning pitcher in that game?
Good question. I don't know, but I know he's back.
He's back, which is a great story. But I thought I read that he finally he did get a win this week, and I'm wondering if that was the game that he got the win.
I'm not sure. Maybe someone could look that up. In that ball game, so the final score was 2-1 Chicago. All 3 runs were scored on a wild pitch.
That's a good baseball.
Oh, man. I guess that's never happened before. All 3 effing runs. Oh, sad news. Roger Craig, baseball Roger Craig, has died.
Yes. Longtime manager.
He was one of my favorites when I was a kid, watching him skipper the San Francisco Giants. 93 years old. He won 3 World Series as a player. He appeared in 1 as a skipper for the Giants. He died. He was known for teaching pitchers how to throw a split-fingered fastball. Brad, did you learn how to throw that one?
I did. Actually, I threw that a lot in high school.
I think I got a pretty damn good split-fingered fastball, too.
You got to have long fingers to do that.
I got some appendages here.
Go on.
Roger Craig, God rest his soul. All right. Real quick, one more baseball note. Luis Arraez had 5 hits on Saturday and 5 RBI. He's batting .390.
Ooh. He's chasing it.
Yeah,
he's chasing it.
That might anger some Twins fans who still don't like the trade for Pablo Lopez.
To be honest with you, I think it's kind of been a wash. That's my own personal opinion. Lopez has been good at times and bad at times, and Arraez isn't really making a huge difference with that Miami. I mean, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but that Miami lineup still needs a lot more help than just Luis Arraez.
I think
I hear you. Personally, right now, I think it's kind of a wash.
5 hits, 5 RBIs in the Marlins game Saturday against the Athletics. He's the first player in franchise history with 5 hits and 5 RBIs in a game. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final is tonight in Nevada. The game will be televised on TBS starting at 7 o'clock. The Golden Knights won Game 1 by a couple of goals. I didn't get a chance to. This will be my first taste of the 2023 Stanley Cup. Didn't get a chance to see Saturday night's game, so here we effing go. I think I saw things got a little squirrely at the end of Game 1, but that's expected.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're the Florida Panthers, the writing's on the wall. We're going to lose Game 1, so let's cheap shot some bastards around the rink a little bit towards the end, so they know that we're still here. Did you see all the friggin' Showtime garbage they had before Game 1? That I did see.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Apparently, they do that before every game.
Yeah, I know they do some level of Showtimey Vegas stuff. I just thought maybe Game 1 was a little different. And okay, maybe it is knights battling imaginary dragons on the ice.
Yeah, it was big. What was it, like 3 years ago when they first made the playoffs? And I remember they had like a knight taking down some other thing.
Daenerys Targaryen showed up topless.
Yeah.
It was.
And then one of them, like a knight, threw a spear and took down a jet because they were playing the Jets or something.
Oh my God! Well, the Vegas Knights have some motivation here now. Aside from just wanting to win the cup for your club and the lifetime dream of winning a Stanley Cup. Larry Flint's Hustler Club in Las Vegas. Who was the last of us to swing by that joint?
I don't think I've been.
All right, fair enough. I went to the one in New Orleans about a decade ago. But anyway, Larry Flint's Hustler Club in Las Vegas is offering the members of the Golden Knights platinum VIP membership access, okay, and free lap dances for life if they win the championship.
Oh my God.
For life.
I hope some guys
Talk
were on
about motivation.
Ashley would bankrupt that place with the amount of free lap dances you'd get
every day.
I've never seen someone who loves lap dances more.
They're so fun.
I was going to say, I hope the guys that take advantage of it the most are the guys who are on like the taxi squad. Never even saw the ice. But I was on the team, man. I was on the team.
I played a little in October, and once when the roster caught the flu. If they win it all, the players get whatever platinum VIP membership access means and free lap dances, just like NWO Black and White, Wapple. Give it to me.
For life.
That's right. For life. What else is going on? All right. The NBA Finals is tied at 1 win apiece. Now, I haven't been able to see any of this yet. It's funny how when we're on vacation and we're not reporting this stuff on the radio, I don't give a rat's ass. I haven't seen any of the NBA Final. I am excited to see the rest of the series, but the Miami Heat tied it up. They won one on the road.
Did.
Did any of us get a chance to see this?
Yes.
I watched a little bit of it last night.
No, Jokic scored 41 points. But yet, Miami still got her done.
Kevin Love was all over the floor, and boy, does he look old.
What?
Does he really?
Oh, yeah. He's got
in his play or just the way he looks?
No, just the way he looks. It's all like gray and stuff on the side. It looks like he's like 55 playing with like 20-year-olds.
Oh, I think he looks distinguished.
Yeah.
I
But
see it.
he got a lot of minutes.
Yeah. He was all over the floor last
You see,
night.
I like the fact that he's let it go gray. Instead of putting all that shoe polish in your hair. I like what he's doing, old K. Love. Death from up above, they used to call him, Kevin Love.
Kind of forgot he was in the NBA still.
Yeah, well, he forgot what you do as well.
Yeah. He never even knew.
Totally.
I understand Denver had a shot to win it at the end. They had a three-pointer in the air, or at least to tie it, from Jamal Murrah, but it rimmed out, and don't get cute with that. What have you guys seen a little bit of this, Randy and Brad? What do you think so far?
I saw game one. Yeah, but none of us saw last night's game because we were at the event together. So, yeah.
Neither one of you stayed up till 2 a.m. TiVo'd it or whatever the hell you call it. Did you watch it? No, you didn't stay up.
No.
Cubby, did you know that Chipotle is giving away free burritos every time a player makes a three-pointer during the 2023 NBA Final?
I did, and I was hoping it would be a little more open than it is, but yes.
It's some kind of Twitter deal. And how many three-pointers are they hitting in an NBA game nowadays? 35?
Oh, it depends, but they can hit as many as that. Sure.
30?
Yeah, Chipotle was saying in the last.
That would be extreme, but yeah.
They say.
I did see. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Chipotle, when they put out this information, they said in the last 10 years, the NBA has increased the three-pointers by 60% in the finals. So they're giving away a lot more burritos.
A lot of burritos.
I did see that Miami shot about 50% on three-pointers last night, so that might have aided in their win.
What was the total number of three-pointers made last night? Does anyone know? Look that up.
I know Miami hit 17. I heard that.
Yeah, so 35 wouldn't be extreme, would it?
So the average NBA game has about 34.
Jesus.
Three-pointers.
Because they said they'll give away up to 10,500 per game.
How many have you had in your lifetime?
Around that number, probably.
I just looked it up. Miami had 17 and Denver had 11 last night, so they hit 28.
All right.
I mean, there are a series of years where I was a two-a-dayer.
I know you were.
That's one of the most impressive things I've ever heard about somebody is your 2-a-day streak at Chipotle.
I got a plaque from the guy who started Chipotle. True story. He sent me a plaque.
That's so cool.
You ever heard of something like that, Randy Shaver?
And then,
yeah, sure. I am at Culver's every day. They know me by a first name basis.
do they have your? I got kind of embarrassed because the one I would go to the most, they'd have it ready for me when I got there, and I thought, I come here too much.
You're a living
sign, yeah.
The guy's a living legend.
Then they sent me a silver card where I could get free Chipotle for life, right? And I used it once, but I felt like a giant douchebag because nobody knew what it was. I held up the line, so then I just kind of saved it as a memento.
Yeah.
That's even impressive that they did your order beforehand, and this is before like all this online ordering that you do now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I went there so much they knew what time I'd be there and what I get.
Yeah, he'll definitely pay for this.
I bet you I had the Hennepin County Chuck Wagon record for a couple of years.
God, those are good.
Yeah, they are.
Wasn't there a sandwich guy that was mad at you? You kept going to the same sandwich shop?
Yes.
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I had when the sandwich maker hollered at me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird moment. I had an obsession with a certain sandwich shop and a certain sandwich, and I always put the same things on, or had the man put the same things on the sandwich. And I'd see this guy, every other day. When I was a young guy, I didn't have any damn money. All I could afford was to hit the cheap sandwich shop. Anyway, so one day I walked in. I said, "Yeah, can I get the this and that with the this and that?" And he goes, "Well, why don't you come back here and make it yourself? You're in here every other day." And I said, "I'm sorry, am I creating an effing problem for you here that I'm regularing your?" The guy's like, "Yeah, sorry, I blew up."
He's just having a hard day.
Jesus Christ, I apologize.
Yeah, there was a store I used to go to so often that I think they rolled their eyes when I walked in.
Yeah.
Like, here he is again. Well, this guy's got nothing to do.
Come to think of it, every time we've had lunch in Egan, Josh, it's been at Chipotle, I think.
That's the way it should be. We're lucky. We got two. That's the only variety I get in my diet sometimes is which one to go.
Well, there you go, the Cliff Road or the Yankee Doodle one?
Yeah, between the two, yeah.
What's this now, Randy? Before we let you go, you need to spread this around the golf course today. Get folks talking. What is this I'm reading here about a topless sports league for OnlyFans and Instagram models? Isn't this something right here?
I don't know.
Let me tell you what's going on. OnlyFans.
This isn't naked pickleball, is it?
Oh, why?
Oh.
What do you know about naked pickleball? Is that why we haven't played each other in a year? Because you're playing naked now?
I don't know anything about naked pickleball.
That sounds like somebody who knows something about naked pickleball.
Sounds like you're playing pickleball. Maybe they will play pickleball. Holly Saunders, a former sports reporter and host for the Golf Channel and Fox Sports. Anyone familiar with Holly?
Oh yeah.
No.
I'm familiar with her.
Oh, yes.
She is the boss. She's launching this month with 10 Instagram and OnlyFans models competing in sports and activities. She said she wanted to do something really fun with models who have become her dearest friends. So she created this. It sounds like it's called Exposed Sports. And Josh, guess what letter they use at the end of sports?
We got to use a Z.
They use a Z. Why?
Because it's nasty.
Because they nasty. It's Exposed Sports with a Z. 10 girls, they're going to play, and some of it will be topless. They're going to play basketball. They're going to bowl. Don't get a nipple ring caught in that bowling ball when you're hoisting it towards the... They're going to play tennis. They're going to play ping pong. And also fun stuff like twister and pocket billiards.
All right, those are all possible, I guess, without injury. I was waiting for like a really sketchy one.
Again, I think just remove your piercings and you'll be all right, Ashley, don't you think? For all these sports for the ladies?
Maybe not tennis, actually. I don't think there's enough. Kind of need support if you're going to be like running around like they do in tennis.
I bet the twister will be very popular amongst viewers.
So pass that around these golfers, see what they think. This Holly Saunders recently made this announcement on Instagram. It says here, while riding a stationary bike in a sports bra and thong, and she was oiled up.
Oh, boy.
I think she's dating Oscar De La Hoya.
Yes, she is.
Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah.
They're also going to play chess. I'd skip that one.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I guess that's a way to make it a little more interesting, but even so, there's Twister.
You guys remember watching her on television? I'm not familiar.
She was on a lot of those golf shows, which I know you probably didn't watch, Nick. But after Twins games, they would show these like instructional golf shows with this dude, and then they'd have her on there golfing with him. I can't think of the guy's name.
All right,
but yeah.
So look for Exposed Sports to launch, as they say, later this month. Topless girls playing basketball, bowling, tennis, ping pong, and all that stuff. That's unbelievable. Randy, we know you got to get going. We actually have to get going a little early today as well. Randy, have a great day today.
I will.
Say hi to everybody, and thanks for the party last night.
You bet. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great day.
You bet. Brad Ryder, we're going to send you off into the sweet oblivion as well, Brad. Thanks very much for your time.
All right. We'll see you Wednesday.
Give us a damn text. By damn 651-989-9393 if you're experiencing any health issues, because our old buddy Dr. P. Jesus will be live. He'll take your questions. He'll try to give you the proper advice. Dr. P. Jesus will be live next on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Learning your child has cancer causes an emotional and financial crisis. Often, the best place for treatment is far from home. But with the help of the National Children's Cancer Society, children battling cancer can get to life-saving treatment, whether it's across town or across the country. To learn how we give families hope and give their children the best shot at survival, visit thenccs.org. That's THENCCS.org. Because no family should go through childhood cancer alone.
Last year on National Donut Day, some people forgot to get their free donut at Dunkin'. Like at Sincerely Rosie, who tweeted, "I forgot to get a free donut at Dunkin', frowny face emoji." But this year, with any luck, Rosie will be tweeting, "I remembered to get my free donut on June 2nd, smiley face emoji, thanks to a handsome-sounding radio announcer who reminded me. Why, thank you." America runs on Dunkin'. Offer valid June 2nd, 2023 with drink purchase. Applies to classic donuts only. Excludes espresso shots. Participation may vary. Terms apply.
Dr. P. Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. Our guest this morning on the telephone is Dr. James Parnell. We call him Dr. P. Jesus. Text if you have a question. He'll try to advise you on whatever it is that's bothering you. 651-989-9393 is how you text us. Live from his family's estate in Ohio, it's Dr. P. Good morning, Dr. P.
I'm in the castle this morning.
Yes, my son. What's going on? How's the family?
Going okay. You know, it's I actually I'm of the age when I'm dealing with aging parents and parental illness and stuff like that. That's makes for some challenging times.
Tell me about it. I went to see my folks a couple of days ago. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, tough stuff, but they're doing okay. So
that's good to hear. What you just went out for a visit, or was there a special occasion you're attending?
I mean, it's a visit. I mean, truly, my mom had to have some surgery and was in a nursing home getting rehab, and so I actually came to help my dad get her home safely, which we did. And then she fell again last night.
Sorry to hear that, dude.
But thankfully, I was here to help get her off the ground. So we're trying to figure out how to prevent that, but it's challenging.
Do you have any siblings? And if so, do they get tired of hearing about their doctor brother?
I do. I have one brother. I'll ask him today. He's here too. He's a guitar player, so I think his life is cooler than mine. So I think he's okay with it.
He's a guitar player. He's got an act and everything.
He does, yeah. He mostly teaches at this point, but he's a jazz guitarist by training. But honestly,
that's not easy. No, that means he's talented.
Yeah, can play just about anything, but does play a bunch of gigs.
A lot of talent in your family.
Well, I don't know about he's got talent. I've just been lucky, I think.
Wouldn't it be something if you had a third brother who just kind of sat in the basement? You know what I mean?
That's usually the case. If there's three siblings, there's usually one of them that doesn't do much.
Hey, one of 3 siblings.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
All he does is sit in the basement and try to become Facebook friends with Megan Fox. You know? That'd be awesome. And he's 5 years older than the rest of you.
Yes. Right.
Well, we have questions already blasted into our text machine for Dr. P. Jesus. We appreciate your time. Here's one right from the get-go that says, can Dr. P talk a bit about concussions, symptoms, duration?
Okay, sure.
That's from Shouldn't Be on a Motorcycle Jesus. He wants to know the symptoms and the duration of the old concussion.
Okay. I wonder if he's saying that because he's crashed and had concussions.
That could be.
Concussion at its root is essentially just your head either hitting something or your body slowing down and your brain rattling around in your skull. So that's ultimately what it is. The sort of impact of the brain tissue on the skull, and then even more so probably as your brain moves a little bit, it puts some stress on the brain stem, the lower part of the brain. And I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So there's very mild concussions where, maybe you take a hard soccer ball hit to the head and you're just a little dazed, but it's, and whether you truly call that a concussion, there's a line there that's kind of hard to define, but the more extreme is you hit something and you're knocked out.
Unconscious, yeah.
Yeah, so it has to do with the severity of the hit, but it also has to do with how many times it's happened. And I think that's where it gets very challenging. I mean, if a kid gets knocked out in hockey and he's out, he clearly has concussion and, is going to need to be seen and evaluated. When it's, I guess I just keep thinking of, football players, and I've never played football, but when they get stingers and stuff like that, and they kind of get little concussions all the time, probably from bashing helmets. Those subtle ones are much more difficult to sort out.
I didn't know you could get a subtle one.
I mean, you can really. That's I think that's the thing. I mean, I think you're going to have some symptom of even if it's just momentary, and then
you lose focus for a second. I mean, there's so much more information on this now than there was 25 years ago.
There really is, and I think that's the so it's. Thankfully, there's pretty well integrated protocols in, I'd say, all kids sports, where, you got to come off, you got to probably sit out a game. They have some even side of the field testing they can do.
I think if you've had 3 concussions, they don't let you play sports anymore. I thought that was
probably not. And
all of us probably had 3 by the time we were 14.
For sure. I mean, I look back, I know I had a bad one skiing once where I fell on an icy slope, and we didn't wear helmets, obviously, back then. Banged my head, and I was, kind of out of it for the whole day.
Sure.
I got sucker punched. I got hit in the back of the head, and I saw stars. Could that have been a concussion? I mean, it was just like out of the cartoons.
I think nowadays they'd probably diagnose that as a mild one, wouldn't they, Dr. P?
I think they really would, and it's such a complicated question. The durations of a very mild one, I think, can be probably a few days. When it gets more severe or you've had multiple ones, it can be weeks or months. And so it's hard to answer that simply. Thankfully, obviously coaches, parents, doctors are more aware of it. And all of the clinics in the Twin Cities, I would say, pretty much have docs who are pretty specialized in concussions now, whether they're sports medicine or neurologists. And there's also physical therapists who are very specialized in evaluating and helping you do some rehab to kind of get things working again. Because you have to. But the main thing is get checked out. Generally, you need to rest. You got to avoid lots of screen time because our brains, if they're rattled like that, do not do well with TV, computers, things like that.
There you go.
Good.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Scary stuff.
I had the worst of all of them. Josh knows this. When I was a kid, I got hit so hard once, my mother fell out of bed 5 miles away.
And his eye fell out.
Yeah, and then the eyes fell out.
Wow.
Tool Sheezes has been dizzy for the last day and a half. She feels like she's trying to walk on a boat on high seas. No other symptoms, though.
And she said for a day and a half, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's an inner ear thing, Dr. P.
I think that's a very good guess there. Yes.
What's the? I had a deal once where I woke up one morning and it was like I was on the damn tilt-a-whirl. It was something about salt intake.
It probably was. So there's probably the most common cause of dizziness. And again, when we say dizziness, we mean, that sense of motion or as if you're gonna, as if you're spinning or as if you're on a boat versus lightheadedness. And that's, we always get into trouble with people maybe using terms interchangeably, but assuming she means dizziness, and it does sound like that, benign positional vertigo is the most common thing. And that's probably what you had, because it has to do a little bit with there's fluid in the middle ear semicircular canals. They have these literally canals with fluid in them, and there's little hairs in there, and when you move your head, the fluid shifts, the hair senses it, and you can get little calcifications in there, basically, or there are normally some calcifications, but if they're in the wrong place, they give you weird input when you're not looking for it.
So it could be vertigo, but I was back to my situation, if you don't mind, real quick. I thought it was vertigo, but it was something else, and it was something to do with how much salt I was consuming, and they gave me
too little or too much.
Too much. And they gave me a little booklet. It was similar to vertigo, but it wasn't. Never mind. So
what did they have you do some little maneuvers sitting on the side of a bed?
Yeah.
So it was this thing. I mean, it's just a lot of ways to explain it.
Okay.
So that is this benign positional vertigo, because usually I used to have or have had these instructions printed out in my office, like just to hand out because they're so common. Little things you do where you sit on your bed, turn your head one way, turn your head the other way, then lay back. The other common causes of dizziness would be labyrinthitis, which is probably a viral infection, and that usually is very persistent and severe dizziness, the point of vomiting and where you can't even stand up. The other one that we were talking about, the benign positional vertigo, is more if you really have to turn your head or move your body to stimulate it. If you're completely at rest, it shouldn't really be happening.
Well, what do you think she should do?
Yeah, is there a drug that can clear that up?
And the other thing is in women, pregnancy, you just wonder whether it could be.
That's funny. A few people text in and said she's pregnant. So that's a real thing?
I think it's something to think about. And I guess, we would probably, obviously in a man, we wouldn't think that. But in a woman, it should be ruled
Unless
out.
you're a really bad doctor.
Right. I always check a pregnancy test, no matter the person. There's not. I mean, you can take medications for dizziness, but we actually don't usually recommend it. Even though it sounds bizarre, but it's because it can kind of prolong the dizziness. If it's just going on for a day or two, you usually don't need to do much. You certainly can go into the doctor. She could literally look up this benign positional vertigo thing online, and if it sounds like what she has, they will have the little maneuvers to try. And these maneuvers are designed to move these little calcifications back into the right place. So if you do them correctly, they actually make you dizzy, which, again, people, I picture the face of patients as I've told them this millions of times. They're like, what? But it's making you dizzy because it's moving these things back into the right place.
Okay.
Sometimes you can do them once and you'll be set.
Well, that would be nice because that sensation is a very helpless feeling.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Spinning around and around in your head.
The spins from drinking. That's terrible.
When's the last time any of us had the spins from drinking?
My 20s.
Yeah.
Man, one foot on the floor, right?
I mean, not too long ago, to be honest. That was
One foot on the floor.
We had a week off, man.
I actually had a couple times.
Yeah.
I'd always do that move, too, when you get the spins. You close your eyes. You think that's going to make it better. No, it makes it 100 times worse.
No.
You sit up straight and you put one foot on the floor, and they'll be gone in about 20 to 25 minutes. Question here. We're talking to Dr. James Parnell, Dr. P. Jesus, calling in from Ohio, helping our listening audience with any health concerns they might have, and we appreciate it. This is funny because the texter addressed you as Dr. P. Jesus, P-E-E.
I get that sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But he does have a urinary question.
Okay.
Should I be concerned if the patch of grass outside my garage where I take a leak frequently is dead? From Crusty County Medic Jesus.
Well, that happens with my dogs.
Yeah, dogs do that. This guy's taking a whiz bang out his garage, and it's killing the grass.
That's an interesting question. I mean, yeah, I think clearly dogs urine kills grass. I know.
Why does dog urine kill grass?
Well, that's branching off into the field of grass technology. Josh, aren't you a grass technologist from the past?
I think the expert on grass is Wapple.
Different kind of grass.
I thought because
this guy drinking too many energy drinks or something.
No, I mean I think urine is just generally kind of acidic, and I think that kills plants and grass. Because I thought, isn't there something you can give your dog that maybe changes the pH of their urine so it doesn't kill your grass?
I should get some of that.
But I mean, humans could take that too, I suppose, but probably maybe just don't always pee in that spot of grass.
All right, well, neighbor's grass. That's what the neighbor's lawn's
Go to the
for.
Well, I guess, I thought it was something concerning, but maybe if all of us urinated in our lawn on the same spot over and over again, we'd also kill our grass.
I imagine so.
I think to me it sounds normal. Yeah, I don't think it's a sign of anything. I guess that may be one of those things I need to look up and get back to you with. But
all right, cool. Yeah, do that if you have some time. Hang on. Another question: how do I change transmission fluid on a 2010 Ford F-150? That's not for Dr. P. Forget that one.
Call 911. That's how you do it.
Forget that one.
Dr. P, do you know much about deer ticks? This person says, my son had a deer tick attached on him yesterday. It was really small on his neck. I don't think it was on there for more than maybe 12 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a big concern in Minnesota. We are fortunate enough to be one of the endemic areas for the Lyme disease tick.
Good.
I know, great, yay. I mean, they are unique. They're tiny, the deer ticks, and the most important thing is how long is it there. If it's there for less than a day, and really probably less than a day and a half, the odds of it doing anything to you are almost zero. So if people are good about checking for ticks when they're out in areas where unfortunately, that includes anywhere in the Twin Cities and in heading up into northern Minnesota. So they can be everywhere. But if you know a tick wasn't there more than 12 hours, it's really not of great concern.
That's good.
You can always, if you can put a tick in a bag, if you pull it off, you can, look at pictures. You can always bring it into the doc. But yeah, unless it's been there for, at least 24 hours, it's not a concern, and it's really probably more like a day and a half. There are some guidelines depending on how long it's been there, where you were. Sometimes you can get a one-time dose of antibiotics, but it's really only supposed to happen if it's been there for probably more than 36 hours.
And don't forget to check the gooch.
Oh, yeah.
They like to hide out.
But what's easiest is to get a friend to check for you. Josh and I have been checking each other for ticks every summer for the last 20-some years.
And winter, just to be extra safe.
And the dead of winter.
Dr. P, Grandma G. Jesus wants to know why she's having debilitating severe panic attacks. She's on 225 milligrams of Effexor. No doctor seems to understand why I keep having these panic attacks, which make her black out even.
God dang.
My grandma had the same thing, Grandma G. Jesus.
What did your grandma do?
She would just all of a sudden pass out, and it was panic attacks.
And it was panic.
And so, actually, I've mentioned this before. I was misdiagnosed. I have epilepsy, for people that don't know, and they thought I was having panic attacks. I didn't feel panicky, but I would have these seizures, which they assumed were panic attacks.
So your grandmother every once in a while would kind of get fired up about something, and then the lights would go out.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, during the 1987 Twins World Series, she passed out twice. True story.
Jesus.
Right in front of the TV.
Don Baylor up to bat, 2 out in the bottom of the 7th, and she just...
Yep.
Obviously, anxiety is extremely common. Panic attacks are less common, but still not too uncommon. To literally pass out from a panic attack, that's pretty rare. If by pass out we mean like you fall down and you're unconscious, I mean it shouldn't really. To me, that's concerning that there's something else going on, and absolutely it needs to be looked at because, just like you said, Josh, could it be a seizure disorder? We worry about heart arrhythmias making you kind of go down, and
that's what would worry me.
Yeah.
Something cardiovascular, if that's the correct word.
Yeah. So maybe a fast, irregular heartbeat which feels very awkward to someone. I mean, it feels like they've been running, which basically makes you feel like you're having a panic attack, and then you pass out.
Do you think the medication could be causing something? Because I was on a medication for epilepsy that it made me feel like I was insane, like absolutely with anxiety. I mean, I really told my wife, I think I'm going crazy.
I remember this run.
Oh, it was the worst. I was on it for maybe 2 weeks or maybe a month.
You kept asking me if you were acting insane.
Yeah, because I can't believe how much it affected me. I really thought I was going crazy.
I couldn't answer the question. I was checking him for ticks. Couldn't hear you from the position we were in.
I remember you saying, you think you're insane. It's February, and I'm checking your gooch for ticks.
I mean, it's possible. Effexor is an antidepressant. It's a little different than the more common serotonin medications. Those are Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft. Effexor affects serotonin and norepinephrine, which is just another neurotransmitter. And it can be used to treat anxiety, but some people will have worsening anxiety on it. I would assume she's on it for anxiety. It just sounds like something's not right. If the medication's not helping, or clearly if it's making her anxiety worse, it's not the right medication for her.
So she said she had gone to the doctor, but you're suggesting maybe make sure they're checking for something with the heart, possibly a seizure disorder?
Well, I think, truly, especially if she says she's passing out and if someone else has seen that happen, yes, to me, especially in an older person, it's maybe one thing in someone who's younger, who's very unlikely to have a heart issue, but a grandma typically would be more at risk of those kind of things. And usually, I would say, I don't feel like it would be too common for a grandmother to suddenly develop panic attacks. Not that it couldn't happen, but it's usually more of an anxiety trait that's probably been there for a long time. So,
anytime grandma's lights go out, I'd be a little worried. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And by the way, you were talking about deer ticks a little while ago, Dr. P, and you suggested maybe if you're concerned, you remove the tick, you put the tick in a bag and maybe bring it to some... A listener wants to know, have you ever heard of a couple guys putting a tick in a box?
And if so, what's step one?
If you can...
you get a box, right?
And by the way, the 2010 F-150 has a sealed transmission and can't be refilled without specialized tools and equipment.
Dr. P. Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, we're visiting with our doctor friend. We're jaw-jacking with our doctor pal, Dr. James Parnell, otherwise known as Dr. P. Jesus. He's doing his very best to help out our glorious listening audience with their health questions. Text 651-989-9393 if you have an effing problem. We'll try to get to it before we get out of here. Here's a quick one for you, Dr. P. Sudden loss of appetite. I lost my appetite last week. No interest in food. Normally, I have too much interest. What gives? That's concerning.
That is concerning, yeah. Sudden loss of appetite. I mean, that is unusual. That is for sure.
I get that way when it's really hot. You know, we've had warmer weather.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat.
Yeah, I mean, something like that. I mean, definitely, you know, you'd have to be out in the heat, you would think.
Not for me. Just knowing
Really?
that it's
Just
hot.
know that it's knowing
outside.
it really-
Honestly, yeah, I understand what you're talking about, Josh.
He watches the weather. It says above 80, and the sumbitch doesn't have anything to eat for a week.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything that would be. I mean, especially in the absence of any other symptoms. Are you feeling terribly fatigued? Are you having abdominal pain? Are you having nausea, vomiting? You know, reflux symptoms, diarrhea. Yeah, boy, because it's really just a question of is there something that is affecting the gastrointestinal system that is.
We need more information. We need more information.
We do.
How long would you wait before you went to the doctor? They said like a week. Would you wait much longer? I think I'd probably.
I mean, well, it depends what they mean too. If they literally can't eat or are not eating anything,
Jesus, you wouldn't last a week.
I mean, I mean, if you're drinking water, you can go for a while, but I guess I probably wouldn't wait too long. If it's sort of relative loss of appetite, that's a bit different. We don't know how old this person is.
Maybe they'll give us some more info.
Yeah,
I'll stare at my text machine and see if they give us. That was too broad of a question, I guess.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, it's definitely a mysterious thing, and I think ignoring it's probably not a great idea for sure.
Okay.
Plumbing Jesus wants to know he had a hip replacement at the age of 21. He's 33 now and might need another one already. How many replacements can I get before I'm in a wheelchair, he asks.
Ooh, boy. So he had one at 21. That is obviously very unusual. And he didn't say why, right?
It doesn't say why, no.
I mean, the only reasons you would have it at that age would be if you had an accident of some kind and it just was the hip joint was obliterated. Sometimes you can have a congenital hip dysplasia where the ball and socket aren't quite working right, even from early on as an infant, essentially. I mean, one of them, when you examine newborns right after they're born, and for the first few months, one of the tests you do is this little thing where we try to see if the hips are easily able to be sort of not dislocated, but flipped around, because if they are, that's a problem. So we try not to miss that in kids.
So you can almost diagnose a child. You can diagnose when they're a baby whether or not they might have a future hip problem.
Yeah, I mean it's an important thing to do.
Interesting.
Congenital hip dysplasia, because if you don't identify it real early, you can't examine it later on, you can't identify it by exam later on, and it might not be till the kid is quite a bit older that then they have, unfortunately, a hip that's going to be all sorts of problems.
Plumbing Jesus got back to me and said it was the dysplasia. That's what you call it?
Okay. So, I mean, I guess I don't know really how many times a hip can be replaced. It's, I think the length of the implants these days, boy, for hips, I'm a little less familiar, but it depends how you're treating it. I would think you'd get 15 or 20 years out of it, though. And he said 21 when he's 33. So he's had it for 12 years. Hopefully technology will continue to improve sort of enough every time that they'll be able to do it. And basically, a hip replacement involves a stem going down into the top of the femur, an artificial ball, and then some sort of an artificial hip socket. And those things can be removed and replaced. It's not simple. It's a lot easier to put it in than it is to take it out. But, I've certainly had patients who are older who've had a couple of hip revisions.
I'll tell you what's fun about hip replacements is a buddy of mine's had 3 of them already.
Oh, wow.
And when he had one of them, when he'd walk by, you could hear the gears grinding.
Oh, really?
I don't like that.
They put in a titanium ball and all that stuff you were explaining, and soon after the surgery, when he'd walk by, if you'd listen, you'd hear him go,
Oh, man.
It was a lot of laughs for everybody involved.
They forgot to oil it or something.
Real quick, Dr. P, even though I don't think you're going to get much more out of this, the dude who said he's lost his appetite, right? And you wanted some more information. Is he throwing up? Is he having diarrhea? Dude says, no other symptoms. I asked him, so you're not eating anything? He said, I take BP pills twice a day. I don't know what that means.
Blood pressure?
Probably blood pressure.
And he has a little bit of peanut butter, but he hydrates plenty. I had a fruit cocktail yesterday and a few peanuts. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah,
that's all you're eating? Are you joking with us?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to ignore that because if it's that profound, I would be worried. I'd be scanning the person and looking for bad things. I mean, not to scare him, but
no appetite for anything other than a few peanuts and a fruit cocktail. By the way, Josh, you enjoyed the sound of a fruit cocktail?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had a fruit cocktail. That sounds awesome.
That sounds delicious.
Josh over there went, ooh, wee. Yeah,
nice. I think particularly a complete loss of appetite in the absence of any explanation, in terms of nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, then it's more concerning because it means something is.
Yeah, you got to go talk to somebody.
Yep.
You got to have something to eat, for Pete's sake.
Oh, and to finish the hip thing, I think.
Yes.
So even with modern technology, I think you can have several hips. Have it done a few times. Again, hopefully, as he ages, again, the technology will improve.
Okay.
And I think it's an important discussion to have with the surgeon that he's working with, and obviously trying to take care of these hips too, because there's certain things you can do lots of stuff, but there are certain things you don't want to do, just in terms of range of motion and things that can make those hips prone to dislocate or wear them down more.
All right, cool. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt your hip.
No, I just didn't want to leave him hanging.
I blew up. Again, Josh, you know how I blow up.
You got to get that way. A few people have texted in to make you feel better, Plumbing Jesus, and said that they themselves or they've had a loved one who's had multiple, and they ended up okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my pal who had 3 by the time he was 45 or something, 3 hip replacements. He's doing all right. Pigeon-toed sumbitch. I think that's what he what. Is there any correlation between pigeon-toed people and hip replacement, Dr. P? Because the dude's ever since he was a kid, he's pigeon-toed. And my theory was, doesn't that kind of push your hips outwards when you walk that way?
It could. I mean, there are other sort of developmental conditions where the toe is really turned in. Most of the time, that's not a big deal. A lot of little kids will do it. They'll kind of, when they're walking on especially when they first start walking, their toes are rotated in a little bit, and they're kind of walking on their tiptoes.
He's also a real good-looking little peckerhead. Is there any correlation there?
Yeah, it absolutely goes with good-looking
Curtis.
people, yes.
It's Curtis.
Oh, he's pigeon-toed?
Good-looking guy.
He's good-looking, that's
I'll
for
tell
sure.
you that.
Dr. P, how do you get rid of a skin fungus?
Oh!
Yum.
Primarily antifungal medication. but you also gotta, depending on where it is, well, actually not really depending on where it is, you gotta let it breathe wherever it is.
I don't know why you said antifungal medication like William Shatner, but you did. I enjoyed it.
I don't know either.
Gotta let it breathe, you're saying, no matter where.
You gotta air it out, yeah.
It's the old cornhole, you're saying. You gotta let it breathe.
Pretty much.
Dr. P told me to go ahead and take out the beehole.
I got
but
problems.
Yeah, but topical antifungals are the most common, and if you have really severe fungal infections, then there's oral antifungals. Oh, wow, that's handy to have
Is that a tornado siren?
Yeah, I think it's a test. That's great. Well, that's going to be going on for a little bit.
Well, let's hear it.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, isn't that nice? I guess they do them earlier than we do.
Yeah, to be clear, you're out of town. You're in Ohio.
Yeah. Maybe there is a tornado coming, but...
Take cover.
Just so no one freaks out. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay. It's 10 a.m. here, so... sorry about that.
That's all right.
So sometimes oral antifungals would be the...
Fair enough.
The treatment of choice.
Fair enough. Dr. P, thanks very much for joining us again from your folks' place out there in Ohio. We appreciate you taking the time. We hope you have an enjoyable stay with your family.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good
and we'll
talking to you
talk
all.
to you in a couple of weeks, man.
Sorry about that siren. Woo-hoo.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
We're not going to put the blame on you, Dr. P.
Okay.
I kind of like it. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good. Take it
Goodbye.
easy.
Got
Dr. P. Jesus.
Yeah, there he goes. Love
Nice
that guy.
Nice guy.
Got an exciting announcement here. Nick Swardson is coming to town. He'll be at Treasure Island. Of course, hit it big after starring in Reno 911, Grandma's Boy, Benchwarmers. For a long time, he thought the sun was a monster.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And now he's bringing the Make Joke from Face tour to the island Saturday, November 25th. Tickets go on sale Friday at TICasino.com. But we've got a free pair right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line. If you text the word Grandma to 651-989-9393, you get a shot to win those just announced tickets to Nick Swardson, November 25th, Treasure Island Resort and Casino, furnished by our friends at Treasure Island. Today is North 40 Transport Jesus' 34th birthday, but he wants us to actually shout out his wife, Cougar, because she got me when I was 23, Jesus. He's cashing in a free birthday beach card she gave him tonight.
Nice.
That's pretty exciting.
Wait a minute.
I wonder how long he's had that. Like,
I bet she
found
gave
in
it
the
to
back
him
of the
5
sock
minutes
drawer.
before he sent that text. Yeah.
Jeez, how many of us have these cards?
I've received stuff like that before in the past.
No, I mean specifically for his wife.
For his wife. Yeah, I've received stuff like that.
Got to start putting exact times on there. I thought I was going to cash mine in today.
Well, no, it's his birthday. You got to wait.
And I just want to say happy birthday to one of my best friends, Tara. Love you.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.